I am Rocky Petrella, and I have a trading problem.
I'm J Mike, and I have a trading problem.
I am FF Man Bun, and I know when I'm cued in to say that I have a trading problem.
Hello, everybody. We are here live Tuesday, 9:30 Eastern-ish. Heavy on the ish. Had to be heavy on the ish. I'm calling this Trade Addicts Open Bar. We couldn't start at 9:30, but I got J Mike with me. I got FF Man Bun Gabe with me. Very happy. We've missed you guys. It's been pretty much all this season. No open bar. I had to bring you, and no Russ this week. I fear what a great time to kind of switch it up a little, bring you guys on, do maybe a little open bar. We may even have a few guests to join us to make it even a little more of an open bar feel a little later. So, how you guys doing, J Mike? How you doing?
Listen, I'm over the moon right now, and I think I really know why Russ isn't here. If we just want to get right into the mess of it, see, he can use whatever excuse he wants, but the fact of the matter is, because I beat him in the semifinals of Trade Addict 6, he did not want to have to face the trash talk, the wrath, the sass of me today. So I think that's really why he's not here. But you know what? We forge ahead. We forge ahead.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case. I think he does not want to confront his the victor in that matchup there. So, especially after that trade he made that we're going to talk about later. So, Gabe, how you been? It's been a while since we've heard you on the mic as well.
I've actually had a few like, I don't know how this all happened in December, but like everyone decided, yo, we need the bun to guest on your pod, and so that's kind of happened over the past few weeks. Nice. with the People's Champ. Shout out to his new pod with the music and Mendy and the AAA fantasy. So it's been cool to jump back on. I literally kind of forgot how to do it. I had to transfer the microphone from one place to another. I don't have a background anymore, but I'm just excited to be here, man. J Mike, check. You kidding me? I pod with that guy.
We're excited to have you. We've missed this interplay between you two, so this should be a fun night. And this may be, I mentioned to J Mike before the show, this may be an open bar length type episode, because we gotta pack show sheet. That's assuming we stick to the show sheet, because what's a show sheet, right, guys?
Yeah, I know. I'm furious that you sent one. I don't even know.
Not really sure why you're trying to open us up to all these new things as we go into 2022, Rocky. But I don't. We'll see about it.
You gotta be open to new experiences, J Mike.
Open. I see.
Yeah, there you go. It all ties in. So we're gonna go real quick on news type stuff, so we can get into all that other stuff. So the big news, most important news in the fantasy world this week is one FF Man Bun making the Scott Fishbowl finals. Yes, round of applause for Gabe. How did you pull that off?
Pictures. I will tell you, the one thing that made it happen was switching out Darnell Mooney to the bench and replaced by Damian Harris. I saw that Harris was activated. I got a beat writer from Seattle or somewhere that showed the snow in Seattle, and I said, not even playing with that. And I swapped in Damian. That is literally what I mean by, I would have placed like 6th or something. I don't know. Like, Harris obviously had like the biggest game of his career, and so that was it. But I mean, I don't, and no, okay, sorry, J Mike. That was it. No. I have to pay respect to my boy. All right, we will eventually become breakfast buddies. I 100% believe this will happen, whether the finals go well for me or not. But Cooper Kupp, okay, no more Kupplik apologies. I've been on him for years now, J Mike. Years on years on years.
Hey, gentlemen!
Just in time to talk about Cooper Kupp, the 101 in all of Dynasty, redraft, IDP, what have you. Cooper Kupp, baby. Yeah. So thanks.
You're a lot
Thanks, Coop.
smarter man than me, Gabe. I had a league I co-own with Jerry O'Shea, great, real smart guy out there, runs the Trade Addicts Twitter account, and we started Devontae Parker over Damian Harris.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that didn't work out so well, and I think we lost that by like 20 some points. I think Damian Harris might have been the difference. So. But yeah, had to bring on Zach. I wanted to give you guys, as I said, I want to make this a little bit of an open bar field. Zach, a regular guest on the open bar. Zach, thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me. I was on here last week. I stumbled back to the kitchen, found a few things. I mean, in true open bar fashion, and now stumbled back to the show like I do, you know.
Okay. In terms of other news items, this one I had to bring up because it hurts me to my soul. I just talked about this guy last week. I figured as Jags fans, it might be big to you guys as well. James Robinson, he's been my guy. I've been touting him when everyone was, counting him out after the ETN draft pick, and I was touting next year he was still going to be the lead guy, and then torn Achilles. So, I mean, maybe there's a little hope because of probably should lump these two together. The only other news item we have, Cam Akers may play next week, according to McVay, which I think is crazy. But the fact that it's even a talking point maybe gives some hope for J-Rob. But J Mike, how are you feeling about this?
Listen, I at this point, I was under the impression that you just bringing me on for the sadness of it all, and then I see Zach's here, so then it's my ray of sunshine there. So we'll work with it. But this J-Rob and Jaguar stuff is just, I mean, come on, like can we hurry up and just get to the non-point scoring season, because this really stinks, man. J-Rob has gone berserk the last 2 seasons and handled himself as one of the better, I'll say it, one of the best producers at the running back position over the last 2 seasons, even for an incredibly inept franchise and a very sorry offense altogether. I'm just really, it's really a bummer. One of the cool things about it, I guess, is we know that he's really good, and here's hoping that obviously he heals well. And with Cam Akers news, we hope that, hey, maybe crazy things happen where J-Rob's ready for next season, and that would be just kind of insane to think about. And on the heels of that, don't look now, but the ACC's all-time leading rusher will be ready to go in Jacksonville as well, and Travis Etienne. So that's an exciting piece as well. So we'll see how things shake out. But man, that torn Achilles was a huge bummer. Huge bummer.
Oh, I'm definitely with you, Zach. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on J-Rob and on an ETN for next year now?
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, that really puts a damper on anything for the future for James Robinson in terms of at least in terms of Jacksonville, to me, because you're going to see ETN get the shot at things next year. And I mean, what are we talking about with Robinson possibly coming back like October or November of next year? I'm like, that's a long rehab. I mean, well, no. Now it's a 4-month.
Not
rehab.
According to Cam Akers,
Cam
it's
Akers,
not.
the Akers thing blows my mind. I know J Mike knows this, but like, I was very vehemently opposed to this in the DFPN chat. As soon as I heard that, I came in. I was like, look, I get activating him. I understand that there are contract implications and bonuses and service time. And, it's a nice thing for him to be active again so he can get a year counted toward his NFL service and that sort of thing. But the fact that McVay said he may play this week absolutely blows my mind.
I don't think you should be playing. You're just risking re-injury.
And he knows better than we do, and we can speculate all we want, but if Akers says, yeah, I'm ready, then it's his decision. But yeah, from an outside perspective, holy cow, it's scary to me to watch I say young man. I mean, he's still young to me. Put that career on the line for a couple of games, headed into a playoff push.
Yeah, no, I don't have any Akers, but we're on the Trade Addicts podcast. As someone who loves to trade, I'd be looking to sell him right now. I want to do it before he possibly re-injures himself. If McVay is playing him more than maybe he should be, and I think his value has already started to go back up, just based on this news.
But what is your expectation though, Rock? So when you say like you be looking to move him, like what is the expectation that you're like, you know what? I feel really comfortable moving him at this point for this.
Well, like I said, I don't have any, so it's really easy for me to say. But because I was already out before this, so I only had a couple shares before the Achilles. No, I don't think I had any. I think I sold my last one right before the injury happened. I sold them for Stephon Diggs, I think in August before it happened. But yeah, I mean, I would hope I could maybe get a late first out of him at this point. I mean, he was going for that, I think, after the injury happened. Maybe you can get a little more than that. Because like I said, after the injury happened, people were I think still buying him for a late first, early second value. And I would easily take that now. I'd hope maybe I can get a little more on top now with all the, with them coming back and, he's recovered already. And Deontay Foreman has shown that you can eventually, after 4 years or whatever, come back from an Achilles injury and play halfway decent. But yeah, so I would easily take a late first. Would you guys?
No, because I think you're 3 months away from seeing him ranked in the top 5 for a lot of dynasty analysts.
I think that's
like
nuts.
and that's fine. Like I agree that's nuts, but like to me, the risk reward now, if you've held him all season, the risk reward now, the chance to either have a running back, but in an offense that has made Sony Michel outrush Jonathan Taylor in the last 3 weeks. Like that's a thing. Sony Michel has more yards than Jonathan Taylor. So you either have a running back in that offense, or you trade him because the how crazy dynasty has been lately, where the new hotness rises to the top. Well, Javonte Williams is already a top 2 running back. I mean, we're there. So if Cam Akers comes back and is the starter, then here it comes again. Cam Akers is going to be top 5, and you're going to be able to get much more than a late first.
You're right, but he also could get hurt. He could look bad. He could
but if he gets hurt and it's not a bad one, he's still got value insulation. Like I mean, if something really bad happens, if he re-tears his Achilles, then yes, you're right. But I'm gonna place the bet on the Rams and their medical staff and Cam Akers that he and they would not put him in a situation knowingly to re-injure that. And so, man, it's a minimal risk for you who just spent a first, don't forget, in this draft, in this past class, probably a mid to high first, to then just shine it on, and you could get, either a payoff that's more than that, or a decent running back.
Yeah, well, and this is coming from a guy who severely doubted his ability to come back and be effective from an Achilles injury anytime soon. So that's where I'm coming from. Gabe, any thoughts before we move on either of these guys?
Well, really sucks for J-Rob. Both of those injuries, like what I've read from the fantasy football doc. Hey.
Every time Gabe's talking, somebody comes on.
I know. What the function is this?
I feel like
is this like an intervention or something? Is this something to do with getting us back on, and like 2, me like talking too much whenever I start rambling?
You need to get the open bar going again. So we're going to bring in all the open bar regulars on. So.
Yeah, well, the what was it? The Liz Frank thing for ETN, and basically from the fantasy doctors, they say there's like 20% less production, and there's something similar to that with the Achilles as well. It's not so much like a re-injury thing though, more so just like decrease in production. So that's like, okay, those are your Jaguars running backs. That sucks. So going into 2022 is kind of a bummer, but and then to kind of transition into Cam Akers, like I said, that I don't know, like, yes, if he comes back early, there's certainly an opportunity to re-injure, and that's why I don't think they're going to play him. I think they did it for his contract. They did it for like the good of the team or whatever. And I think you might see him in the playoff, like the NFL playoffs. I think that he could, like, especially if they kind of make a deep run and they just want to like kind of get him in there to a few carries here and there. But I'd be surprised if they did that. And haven't we? I can't remember if McVay is like a trustworthy coach, but I feel like he's not. Wasn't it just like last week or the week before, and he said like literally that it was going to be a split between Michelle and Henderson, and then it was just all Michelle. And so I don't know, man. I don't Shawnee boy Scarf McVay. All right, that's an open bar reference. Okay, if you're listening out there,
he's at this point, it's almost like. It's almost like they're, like the kids say, they're doing it for the clicks, doing it for the gram. Like they activated Akers for the gram. That's what happened. Before we leave this, Rocky, can I play a quick game? Can we do that real quick?
Oh, you definitely can, Jay Mike. I was hoping you'd play a quick game.
I can honestly tell you, I have literally not looked at ADP on TLF for a very long time. So this will be this was fun. I had to log back.
That's how I looked at ADP was the pod, J Mike, like just playing your games of like, okay, this or this. And I'm like, all right, so they're kind of close.
So that's where we are.
I know.
That's where we are.
Knew.
Yep. Cam Akers, number 58 overall. Quick math. I think that's what, 5th round, right? Ish.
Yes.
Good job.
5th round.
Good job.
Great. Late 5. Also, hey, Peter Howard. Good to see you, man.
Hey, PA.
Hey, buddy.
So let's go around here. Cam Akers or Marquise Brown? Rob.
I'll take Cam Akers just because, like Zach said, I think you can sell him for more.
Okay, Zach.
I'm going to take Akers just to mess with Peter.
Peter.
That makes sense. Yeah. What? I'm on the show.
You are.
I'm working. I thought it was weird you mentioned me. What's up? How can I help? What you need?
I just love how we pick up.
I mean, if you got nothing, I'll go back to
it. Akers or Marquise Brown? Who you want? Dynasty.
Cam Akers from last year? Wasn't he a running back or something?
Gabe.
Oh man, just the like trade idea is all on that.
Okay, so is that was Cam for all 4 of you? Wow,
I'm pretty sure Cam
Akers
is ranked as like a top 12 running back right now. Anyone who sends you that trade is basically getting a slap in the face by anyone they send it to. That'd be a really unfair trade. I will take Marcus Brown, but I don't think anyone's doing that.
Okay.
Like you owe picks on that, I think. I mean, I might be off on the ADP, to be fair. I don't think I'm that off.
Let's go.
Isn't Marcus Brown like outside the top 24 wide receivers in Dynasty or something crazy?
Well, according to December ADP, probably. He is wide receiver 24 on the nose.
Yeah, it's technically in it. Okay.
Bateman coming.
Sure enough. Let's go maybe 1 or 2 more rounds. Depending on how the answers go here. Cam Akers, Chase Claypool. Gabe, we'll start with you.
ADP sometimes makes me feel like taking crazy pills, I guess.
I know. I hate
like Cam. What? Sorry, Cameron. I'm gonna shut up. Just call me when you need.
This is so silly. I'm gonna go Claypool.
Okay, Peter. Now it's your turn.
In a straight up trade, Cam Akers or Chase Claypool?
Yeah, who would you rather have on your dynasty team?
I'd rather have Claypool.
Okay, Zach.
No, Akers easy. One word answer.
There we go.
I mean, if I had
He just
Akers, I
knows.
would not make that
Just
trade
knows.
with you. But
Okay,
what I
last
mean?
round here. Last round. Devonta Smith or Cam Akers? Zach.
That's my line. I want Smith.
Okay. Peter.
I mean, Smith is higher than both of the ones. So yeah, Smith.
Okay. Gabe.
Yeah, that one was actually easier for me. That was
Okay.
Smith. Pretty easy.
I had to shoot way up the ADP board. So just to give you all a heads up, what we talked about where Cam Akers was 58 overall. So Marquise Brown, number 50 overall. Chase Claypool at wide receiver 20 was number 42 overall. And Devonta Smith, wide receiver 17, all the way up at number 34 overall.
Sorry, so where's
So-
Akers?
Akers was 58 overall. So was that
Yeah,
almost
that
the end of the
feels-
fifth round?
Well,
That's DLF ADP. That feels like it hasn't updated, from
Right.
last month
well,
or so.
it hasn't updated from 2 days ago when they said he was coming
Yeah.
back. No.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Also, he shouldn't have. I don't think he should have fallen that high. As someone who's full on Cam Akers hater this offseason, that seems a little crazy. DLF dynasty players suck, man. Let's face it.
I just find that really exciting from a standpoint of the sheer hysteria that's going to be hitting for Cam Akers come this 9-point scoring season. It's about to get real. It's about to get real, and especially if he does anything in the playoffs. Anything in the playoffs. Anything.
Well, it doesn't if he does nothing, it might almost be better for him if he stays on the bench, because I mean, this offseason we're going to be staring down the back of like 7 top 12, 25-year running backs. There's only like 5 you'd be interested in under the age of 25 right now, and Cam Akers is one of them. So I think we're all going to tilt pretty hard over that, especially in Dynasty where everyone thinks age scores points. Like it's a magical property, I'm 24, so I get an extra 10 points on that run.
That's an idea for a league.
I think I just inspired the next John Bosch League. I think. Oh no. How is everyone? Have a good Christmas. I wasn't allowed in earlier, so I miss all that. I don't know how you all doing.
Hey,
Oh yeah, man, we had a great time before you were here.
That's fair.
It was,
I deserve that.
man. Are we running the show now? All right, so
It's not.
I mean, I'm
Should
just
I
waiting
play-
for
should I
that
play the
about
feed?
Christmas, but by all means, just roll right on over that.
I can roll the open bar theme if you want.
yeah, could you do that? Could you just? I could do. Oh, I can't do that. Opening bar. Actually, I think I forgot this part. Thanks for listening all up in your car. YouTube Live is where we are. Wait, are we, J Mike? That's my co-host, by the way. It's Soda Tommy Game. It's about time to press play. Go.
Has anyone got the share link for this, or
I know. Like, what is this? We're live? Like, where?
like the comment? There's not nearly enough people making fun of me for my. Oh no, wait, I found it. Like Bob's in here. We're good. We're good. There'll be plenty of fun making. Oh, it's actually
good.
all Bob. It's just Bob talking to J Mike. The look of it. Wow,
Right.
that's weird.
Where is this?
yeah, we're just going
Where
back
is
and
this
forth,
show?
having fun.
Where is this show?
On the
Look,
depth network.
Oh, okay. I was
If
on
you
the
will.
Trade Addict Pod. Wait, is there a Twitter for that? The DAP at work or DAP and DAPN at work?
I refuse to remember that
Oh, there it
many
is.
letters. As
Yeah, you
my
don't have to.
spelling shows, so I just say Dynasty Dummies.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
Just Google that. You'll find
There
them.
it
It's
is.
fine.
Yeah, they'll be around. The beauty of this is we do have some Trade Addicts League trades to get to.
Cool.
And
I'm in one of those. I'm in one of those.
so
Is there
we'll
someone
be
from
able to go.
Is there someone from the Trade Addicts on the open bar tonight? Or
Yeah, so So essentially, the beauty of them having an actual show sheet means that there's actually things that we can go to, and we don't have to just go over our typical nonsense that we would typically lean into back in our yesteryear. So trade addicts trades. I don't have that cute little line, the cute little line that he always goes through, and by he I mean Russ Fisher at Dynasty Outhouse. 12 team Superflex PPR tight end premium. Point something for return yards. I did my best, Russ. So, Trade Addicts 1. Trade Addicts 1. Antonio Brown on one side, or a 2022 second. This is actually looks like a late second, mid to late second for Antonio Brown there, because it's a playoff team. So, Antonio Brown, playoff 2022 second. Zach, we'll start with you.
I'd rather keep Antonio Brown and see if I can get better value than that. I'm not a late second doesn't move the needle for me. And Antonio Brown this year, potentially coming back next year with Godwin injured for the majority of next year. I think you could probably get a little bit more at some point later. Although I just moved him for a first in the league, so. I feel the trading Antonio Brown, but a second's not getting it done for me.
And this also happened in TA7. Peter, was that you in TA7? Was that you that did that? You're muted. What are you doing?
He's
what
a professional.
Huh?
Yeah.
Someone's been grinding a little too hard, apparently.
I know.
We can't even hear him anymore.
Go back to Twitch.
Jesus, the sass around here. Jeez. So I'm just trying to politely stay like you mute my voice, and no, just hey, got it. Yeah, probably my team. I mean, who else is going to roster that guy before the season? Let me check. I don't know who's on my team. Come on, J-Mike.
Well, if that wasn't you, that's fine.
Yeah.
While
it doesn't look like it was me.
What do you got, Gabe?
I don't think that's worth it, really. No. I feel and like because the playoff trades should
no,
have
he hasn't been traded in our league. Sorry. Okay. See,
aren't you in TA7? Aren't you in TA7 with me? Like, what do you?
Yeah.
Anyway,
what J-Mike asked? I'm just trying to find.
I thought I just wasn't sure. I thought you might have been in another. Are you allowed to be in multiple TA leagues? I don't know. Anyway,
only if
only what?
Only if you host.
Right. Yeah. Come on, Tadoy. Well, wait a second, J-Mike. Why didn't I get multiple entries into the best ball ish? I had to fight my way to a top 12.
Is that what we're gonna do? Just flex all night? We just gonna flex all night? SFB,
you know,
best ball ish.
Yeah,
hey,
I'm the Segway savant over here. All right,
you got FF Addict gave up Antonio Brown for a second round pick to Hugh Bymaster.
Yeah, I know, right? That bum. All right, so I wouldn't do it. The playoffs, like your old producers, etc. That like if you're selling them at the playoffs, like those should be that I see that equivalent as like how everyone says like hold your rookie picks and up until the draft, they're way valuable right there. No one knows this, but hold on to them, never trade them away. And
that's the best impression I've ever heard in my life. Can I just oh no, it's back. It's okay. I was going to raise some concern that it looked like Rocky was abducted by aliens there for a second. Like a bright light came on.
My internet's going nuts here. I hope J-Mike started hosting the show. So
cool. We always have a robot on this show, don't we, J-Mike?
Yeah, no matter where we go, you're back to your robot ways, Rocky. There, with your mic popping. No, what I was saying was, Peter, that this trade that happened in Trade Addicts 1 also happened in Trade Addicts 7. Yeah. So I was saying I didn't know if that was your team or not. That's why I was.
No, I looked it up. It was by Master and FF Addict, whoever they are.
Oh,
Gotcha.
that's me.
Who are you again?
Oh, did it really happen?
I
Yes.
sold. Yeah,
Yes. Where were you? What do you mean?
I mean,
Oh, it also happened in TA7. I didn't read that part. Okay. On the show sheet because
you didn't actually have to, because like I said it, and you were like, "Don't do that," and I was like,
I know.
"But
I didn't read the
just-
look. I didn't read the
I
show
just said
sheet.
it.
The standard is
I'm
the
still
standard.
waiting to
Why would
find
I?
out what
Why
a show
would I
sheet
read a
is.
show
You all
sheet?
keep
I
mentioning
know.
the show sheet. It was put
I
in the DM thread as well. I asked. The only thing I got was Zach saying J Mike's going to take over the show, and I was like, "That's nice," but I don't know really what that has to do with anything. And then I came on here and I was told off for being muted and then not being muted, and now for reading the thing that you needed. Anything else?
I think that's a good recap of the last 5 minutes.
It's all about
Good
me,
job.
Gabe. That's all
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun. And yeah, I mean,
Oh, Rocky.
Well, I'm sorry. What was that?
No, I said that's where we are. We just went over that first trade.
Okay, yeah. I
Rocky,
appreciate.
why did you do that?
Well, Zach said J Mike was going to take over, so I had to give him the opportunity to take over. So
No. I don't care. The
We're
trade.
back on the
Why
trade.
did you
now.
do the
Keep
trade?
Up. Keep up.
why'd I trade him for? Because that's what I could get. Why am I going to keep Antonio Brown for next year?
Because he's still going to be really good, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Might be pretty good at football.
I mean, what's the?
I don't know if
if
value
Brady's back-
increases from here. If that's the best you can get right now when he's actually scoring points next week. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the league. I'm pretty dumb.
I'm not going to get more
Maybe
than
we'll
that
be
until
back to
next
start the
September.
season
I'm
when
not
we
going to
do
get
it
more than that in
first.
the off season. So, I most of my leagues I am very deficient in picks, so I figured why not.
I think you got 3 months where that second is more tempting to more teams if you're trying to make other trades. I think that has value.
Agreed.
Agreed.
That's probably fair.
Okay.
Unless you're in Zach's league, apparently, and then they hand it out first. So, like, do that.
It's true.
If you can get 2 first, do that too. But otherwise, 3, say no. But you know,
Say no.
Okay, so this next one was me and Russ, which was
Oh my God! Look at all these
NCAA
trades.
Oh God, yeah, I know. Austin Eckler for Alexander Madison and David Montgomery. Most of these trades, like this one, are for a team that was out of it, eliminated, going for with a team that's still in the playoffs. So what do you guys think of that one? Who wants to start?
Wait, which one's in the playoffs?
Russ traded me Austin Eckler for Madison and Montgomery because Eckler was on the COVID list and he wanted to win.
Oh, yeah, that's a good trade. That's good. I like it. I'm fine with it.
I want the Eckler side. I
kind of want the other side, honestly.
Many times over.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Just because you think you're still going to be getting this out. That's what I thought, that Eckler's still going to be very good next year. Unlike, of course, Antonio Brown.
Right.
I don't like the consistent ceiling that Eckler offers you in that offense with his skill set at 25, 26 years old. Like there's
27 going into the 2022 season, J Mike, just saying. 27.
Sweet. And I'm still probably going to have him as a, I don't know, top 7, 8 RB. Like he, again, if we're starting the league that Peter mentioned about, points per being under 25 years old or whatever, sure, he's not going to score very well in that league. That's going to be rough. It's going to be rough sledding for Austin Eckler there. But
you didn't think about
otherwise,
that, did you?
like I did not know that was not in the calculus there. Sheesh. But no, I want the Eckler side by quite a bit. I think it's also because I still don't view Madison as like I don't really hold him in all that high esteem. I just don't.
Yeah.
So Jake Earl in the chat says, did Russ win? If so, good trade. I'll let you know in a second because Russ also made this trade. I just want to see your thought because he did the same thing. Travis Kelce for T. Higgins and Tyler Higbee.
So he did win.
He actually did not.
He didn't. Oh
Yeah,
no!
He got T, and he lost. He scored like 170, but he lost.
Oh man, Russ.
Wait,
Bum,
which
bum.
TA was this? Is this TA1?
TA1.
Okay. I'm like still trying to figure out where my TA7 trade. Oh, we don't have any except for spoiler alert. All right. Well, I mean, we have some TA7 folks here that we could just throw a trade down, real quick so we could talk about it. But who was it? T Higgins and Russell Gage? Is that what it was? Oh, because Gage put up
Tyler Higbee for Kelsey.
Oh, Tyler Higbee. Oh, yeah.
Again, Kelsey on COVID list, and
Right.
and Russ was trying to win. So, is that enough to get for Kelsey? Do you think?
It's tough in that tight end premium, but it's close. I think it's close. I think it's worth it. Like at that juncture of him trying to win, I think that's fair.
T's game makes it a lot easier to say that is enough this past week.
Well, but it was. I mean, like the benefit of hindsight is it wasn't enough, and so now going forward, does T Higgins offset the fact that you had Travis Kelce, who I mean, I'm assuming that the scoring in these leagues and the scoring in most of Russ's other leagues are very similar. And Travis Kelce, I'm here to tell you, can carry you to the playoffs in the 1.75 tight end premium because I did that in 2 of his leagues.
Yeah. So, any concerns about Kelce going forward? He has shown a little more that he's a little more human this year. So, I mean, obviously, value-wise, he's fallen out of that tight end 1 spot, but production-wise, you think he can just be top? Still top 2 next year, whatever.
I think he probably. I mean, he's going to be until he isn't. He's going to be until he's just gone. It was the same way Gronkowski was. Up
year?
until he retired.
I know this year.
Yeah. Well,
I
and
mean,
then
what do you want from me? Tight ends don't stop being able to play. Apparently, Jimmy Graham stealing touchdowns this year. I mean, come on.
I won last week.
I mean, like with all the uncertainty that we have in football and the fact that we barely hit at a 50% rate, why do we play Merry Hell with tight ends? Like the same every year until then there's a new one, and that was Darren Waller. We got a new one. Why we were asking for more? That's pretty much turmoil in tight end land. We got a new one last year. Wow. Other than that, it pretty much stays the same.
Yeah. And Russ's trade. I mean, Russ's trades kind of did work. I just looked it up. He lost 181 to 174. So he scored plenty enough, you would think, to possibly win, but it did not work out. Okay, so
as J Mike would say, Travis Kelce, he's top 2 and he's not 1 or 2, right? J Mike, is that what you would say?
What I mean, I recognize we haven't done this for a while, Gabe, but I mean, we have more chemistry than that, so I'm gonna need you to do a little bit better if you're gonna bring up these references, please. Just a little more a little more effort, please.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. I look at the Open Bar show sheet reference sheet.
The Open Bar index, the Open Bar glossary.
Open Bar index. The problem is that it's a Rolodex, so I'm like really flipping through, and it takes a lot of time.
I mean, things used to take more time when I was a kid. The Rolodex is a key example of that.
Yeah. That's what 4 years of podcasting will get you. It's a Rolodex.
And another one.
And another one. And another one.
That's what not many people know, but that's where that comes from originally.
Yeah. Another one. Because it
with
didn't stop.
Okay. So we got a lot of the trades to get to here. So
I know there's like 38 trades. Like
that's what happens in the playoffs, Gabe. And I even cut out some. I couldn't say. I'm even going to.
This is like the one-word answers. No, don't delete it. I want it. This is like one word answers. Don't you delete one trade. We're going through every single one.
Russell
This is my
Gage for Nico
podcast.
Collins in a 23-second.
Nico side for me. Sure.
Is there an
One word
option to
answer.
just shrug?
Oh wait.
That's what I was. I was gonna go with the shrug.
This is to win, right? And Gage kind of put up the doo-doo.
I'm not into.
I mean,
if you have a Gage or a
Cooks.
Nico Collins, you don't go after another Gage or a Nico Collins. I mean, that's just
There it is.
literally pointless.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
So
good.
you take the second.
someone got a second. That's
Pete
nice.
said it.
That's
Pete
nice.
said it. Yep. So Nico's side because they got the second. All right, moving on. And Nico
Okay.
outscored Gage this week. Once you saw Cooks out, like I would
That's right.
especially
Nico
go
had a
the
touchdown,
Nico
didn't he?
side even just for 1 week.
Zach Ertz for 2023 first. Pete.
Oof. That's a lot.
What? Zach Ertz for a first? I take the first. That's yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Look at that. PA Howdy likes picks. PA is picks acquired. Howdy. Yeah, we know.
I mean, yeah. I'm all about the picks. I make a lot of rookie picks in my leagues.
I will say Zach Ertz did get you like 19 points in TA scoring this week. So
No, especially in this time of year, it's just what's gonna be more interesting to more teams for all the trades I want to make to get rid of all my rookie picks, and the picks more interesting for the next 3 months to more teams. Then I don't think Zach Ertz is ever going to be interesting to anyone ever again. So, unless you want points, yeah.
yeah, well, I was going to ask Zach, are you willing to make these kind of trades to get points? If you're in the semis, you think you need another guy to start.
I am not going to. I'm not going to part with my first for somebody like Zach Ertz and hope. If I'm going to part with a first, I'm going to make a big boy trade and go get somebody that I think can help me now, but also can help me in the future. That's just how I would look at this.
I mean, yeah, and if you can get him to throw in a couple of extra picks, that's cool too. I'm with Zach in the idea that I will literally trade you whatever I want for the win, but I'm going to try and do as best as I can. And if Zach Ertz is the best I can do for that league, then the people in that league hate you. Like, you might have to all go to counseling because there is some undiscovered and undiscussed serious hate. Like, if all the leagues like, nah, you got to do Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz or nothing. It's the only thing we'll give you for that first to help you this week. But you can probably do better. But yeah, I like the energy, if it were. Go get that win.
That team definitely had Kittle, Pitts, and Ertz, and they're like, yeah, you can have Ertz, fine.
Yeah,
I'll start with Ertz.
Okay.
For the small price of your 2023 first.
Yeah. I'm assuming they didn't have Kelsey, that team who needed Ertz. And yeah,
you could probably get Kelsey in some leagues if that team's out. They're like, we could at least try.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could have gotten someone cheaper. I don't know what other cheaper tight ends had a good week this past week, but
Jimmy Graham.
There you go, Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Probably got a touchdown. I mean,
why isn't Jimmy Graham going for a first?
You literally are discussing a trade about Zach Ertz going for a first, and you think that sounds outlandish? I mean, really, what's the difference? Jimmy Graham's had a better career. That's about it.
And I should mention too, because I when I disappeared, I don't know that J Mike went over the scoring. If anyone's not familiar, 12 team PPR Superflex 1.75 tight end premium. Maybe J Mike did say that. I don't know, but
No,
I did.
he didn't.
The only thing
No.
the only thing that I forgot, Rocky, is the fact of letting people know that the return yardage is not for TA. Is not for TA1. That's the only thing I forgot.
You're such a pro, J Mike. I said, Zach said you're going to take it. I think you should just do the rest of the show.
All right, sweet. So here we go. TA3.
See, that's how I do things. I'll just come on, pretend like I'm going to host, and then all of a sudden I just hand the ball to J Mike. He runs for 80 yards and a score, hosts the rest of the show. It's great.
What's next?
No, I do my best Daniel Jones impression where I run 60 yards and fall over my own feet at the 20. That's what I do.
That's what I do.
TA3 trade. Long lost little brother to Cooper Kupp. That would be Robert Woods for Antonio Brown. So which side you want? TA3, which is a fun trade, I think. Robert Woods for Antonio Brown. Who wants to kick this off here?
This one I would take AB. I think Robert Woods is kind of even more dust than AB might be. So,
oh dang, the slander.
He's younger.
By what, like a year, 2 years?
He's fresher dust. No, he's like 3 years.
I
younger,
think it's
probably.
like 2. Yeah.
He's going to be 30 next year. I don't know how old.
Oh
AB
no,
is.
it's
32.
I was way off. It's 4.
AB's 33.
AB's 33.
Oh wow, I didn't realize AB was that old.
Still
Birthday in
cooking.
July.
But
Yep.
AB's also not coming off an ACL tear yet.
Everybody gets those.
Hey,
Oh.
whatever that modern
wish
medicine
that-
is they got in LA, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
Cam Akers is coming back in 4 months from a torn Achilles. Robert
Yeah.
Woods is gonna be
Woods is
running
going to be
wind
back in the playoffs.
sprints for New Year's. Jeez.
Yeah.
Zach, you sat up straight in your chair. What you got?
No, I just I think that one is pretty even, and I like the idea of acquiring Antonio Brown as a playoff team because, like I said earlier, I think you're going to get Antonio Brown producing this year, and it won't surprise me to see him back in Tampa. It won't surprise me to see Tom Brady finagle, his favorite receiver that he's ever played with this year. Back to Tampa and running it back.
Wait.
Godwin out.
Something's going on here. It's weird.
J Mike's hosting, so I had to move over.
Unbelievable.
I didn't even know
weird.
that such a thing was possible. I know about this. I'm gonna go think about my life a while. Yeah, I'm impressed you all managed to find that many words to say about it. I mean, I'll take the guy with a better career that's producing more points, that's more likely to produce more points next year. And who the hell is Robert Woods? I mean,
Wow. How quickly we forget.
To be fair, I never knew who Robert Woods was. I've been not knowing who Robert Woods was for years, and it's been pretty great, really. I'm alive. You can survive just fine. I mean, the start of the career kind of sucked, and then there was that 1 year, and then the rest of the year kind of sucked. So it's fine.
Wow. I'm not finna argue you about this right now.
That's some Robert Woods standard
In
right there.
fantasy, the guy himself is amazing. It's great.
TA3. We're moving on. Donta Foreman and the aforementioned Russell Gage for the long lost city of Atlantis, Irv Smith Jr.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
People still roster McCall Hardman. They still roster McCall Hardman, and I still see McCall Hardman this week tweets. Like that's still a thing. I mean,
I smashed the Foreman Gage side. That's great. Good job.
Yes.
If you're trying to win,
care.
you're not going to miss Irv Smith. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
offer it for free. Actually, just
what are you 1.75 times like 10 targets a year? What's that work out to? Like, not
what was he with the Smith Jr.?
Here, I'll
What-
delete
what
that.
was
vacated
Don't worry.
targets, Peter. Don't
I
you
got
know
this,
about
guys.
vacated targets?
I
Oh,
deleted it.
that literally it.
Don't worry, I deleted it.
I don't know.
That's ridiculous. Get out of here.
Get.
Gabe, we can't. I mean,
What?
these are real people and
These
real
are real
trades
people.
that will be listening to this podcast.
No, and that's the thing.
This
but
isn't like
we're-
the fantasy land that we lived in where we can just say random stuff
I-
and like there's no ramification.
Well,
I didn't-
It's also because we're talking dynasty, and these players are playing in playoff situations.
meant-
So being dismissive is a little easier from that situation. They're more interested in this week, and I think that's the energy coming at them.
That's all I meant. It's like that one's a lot easier because like you're just not going to miss Irv Smith. You're not.
Right.
Like you you might miss one of those other players that can't even remember our other trades already, but like come on, Irv Smith.
I mean, it's a fair point, J. Mike. We're commentating on an active war essentially right now. They're in the battlefront, they're in the trenches, trying to fight for their lives, get their championships. But we're back at home. Like we're like, what war? What war?
What
The
war?
war was over for me weeks ago. I don't know.
Right.
And so, yeah, the energy's a little off. I'll admit it.
I mean, not for all of us. Some of us are still like hanging around and.
Oh my!
Well, some of us are going to the Scott Fishbowl Championships. I think.
Yeah.
Some of us.
Ain't done a day of calisthenics, but all of a sudden the flex is so real. Golly.
No, I've been
FF calisthenics.
Look, I take it back. That was a joke. I've been trying to keep like good mojo like this whole season as far as like flexing on fools because you know I get a little carried away sometimes. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Give it back.
Oh, no,
I do have a question about Scott
I
Fishbowl. I have a question. Can I butt in real quick as we are like 3 trades into this thing?
I mean, we've only got like 40 to go. So
I know we only have 40 to go, but real quick, Scott Fishbowl. Okay. So I think I can't really remember, but the first week, whatever the J-Mac and I were talking about this, what is the first round called? Is it just called the quarterfinals? I feel like it's a different name.
I can't remember.
Divisionals or something. Anyway, that was the first week that I was active. And I don't know if I wore like, I knew I wore a Scott Fishbowl like shirt at some point. And then I thought like after I won, I was like, oh, it'd be cute if I just like had some Balvenie, you know, celebrate, you know, and shout out Scott Fish. This is his favorite Scotch. If you don't know that, then why are you even in SFB? So I had a small little glass of that. Right. And then this week, I made sure that I was going to wear the Scott Fishbowl shirt on Monday to, you know, for the energy, you know,
it's a really long story. I'm excited for the payoff.
It's only weird if it doesn't work, right? It's only weird if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then,
yep.
So it worked, you know, wore the shirt, poured another glass of Balvenie, but here's the twist, right? Listen to this. I ran out of Balvenie. So what did I already like screw this up? Did I already like screw up the curse as far as because I emptied the bottle? I didn't recycle it. I left it out because I was like, oh, maybe it's just the bottle. Maybe it's just the existence of Balvenie that will carry on the luck for me in this Scott Fishbowl final. So the question is, do I recycle the bottle? Do I leave the bottle out? Do I go and purchase another bottle? Does it have to be the same kind of bottle? 14-year Caribbean cask. Shout out Scotch Fish. And throw away the other bottle, or you know, keep the bottle. Also, but whilst replacing the new, or getting the new bottle, you know. And do I wear a shirt? So kind of a lot going around right here, but just
I think
just off the top of my head, I would definitely wear a shirt. Walking around naked can get you in a lot of trouble. Just
I think you get
straight off the top of my head. I'd say that,
and then pour it into the old bottle.
That's what I was going to say. You got to get yourself a funnel. That's the only way.
What was that? Wait, what was it? You
get the same kind. You get a new one, but the same kind, and you pour it in the old bottle.
Okay.
And drink from that bottle.
I kind of like
that. Like the old school cans of chicken noodle soup where you pour it in to
then you fill it up with water
saucepan and you fill it up with water.
Right.
Swirl that thing around a few times, make sure you get all the residual going on, and put that mug in too. Yeah, no doubt.
And the thing is like the drink, I wasn't drinking it beforehand. It's not like it was helping me throughout the process. It was after the result, you know, I was celebrating. So now I'm just like, I don't know. It's like a premonition of juju, you know, of good juju. Scared guys.
Did you get to drink afterwards, or was it already gone?
Do we have a juju trade in here? Sorry, what'd you say, Rocky?
Get the drink after this last round, or was it already gone at that point?
I finished it off, and I didn't even have enough for 2 ounces. I didn't even have a full pour. It was like 1.5 ounces. So I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about. Yeah. See,
you needed to do this before.
I shouldn't have even started it. I shouldn't have even started it the first week.
Just gonna throw it out there like I do. Literally nothing you do matters. You're good.
Ugh.
I honestly, you're good.
I don't believe
Just try it on. Just think about it for a minute. Like no pressure.
He's going to say that in like
can't do anything.
3 minutes. All of his Excel spreadsheets are going to lock up. The computer's going to crash.
Not super,
Right.
just a little stitches.
That's right. Just a little.
Okay. Just
I don't
thought
know.
I'd throw
We'll
it out.
see. Anyway, all right. So TA5. Check this out. This is a great trade, guys.
Another
You're gonna
massive one.
You're going to dig this one, okay? CJ Uzama, 2023 third, and CP, our hero for the 2021 season, Cordero Patterson. So Uzama in a 2023 third for Cordero Patterson. I'm assuming the receiver of Cordero is trying to make a run here, which I'm sure they were dissatisfied with that.
Speaking of Disney Plus shows and Hallmark specials and all these things, which we've talked nothing about yet, I feel like CPAT's career, like not even just his career in real life, but his career as a fantasy asset could be just one of those real, like, what was it, Invincible? Vince Papali, like that's what CPAT is. Like his story is just the roller coaster of all roller coasters. Give me CPAT going away here.
I agree with you. I mean, I'd rather just hold and try and get more than give them away for CJ Uzama and a third. Like, what's that doing for you?
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to miss Uzama. The funny thing about all these playoff trades too is like I know you actually like review these trades all season, all off season, but like these trades like literally don't matter. Like, did they help you win? Did you win? Like, great, then it worked. Yep, you won. Like,
Some of these next ones
I
we
understand
can comment on that.
Yeah, maybe sure. There's a line, but like the line is certainly like stretch a little bit.
Some of these next ones coming up are J-Mike, so we can find out if they won or not. So, J-Mike, what's our next trade, J-Mike?
Before we get to that real fast, Zach, what were you about to say?
I was just going to say a lot of these feel like that trap that you get into where you're a non-playoff team and you feel like you have to rebuild and they're just trading to trade. And I don't think you have to do that. You have the leverage. You're out of the playoffs. The other guys are playing for something. They're trying to make a move and win a week. And so why, like, Cordero Patterson is, to me, the production you potentially get from him next year is worth way more than a third and a 28-year-old tight end who got 48 receptions this year. Like, or 45, like.
Yeah, I think I have a similar feeling on this. It's something that I find in a lot of my leagues, some of you are in, it's like the teams that are playing for something feel like they don't have to pay for their wins. Like, you just take a third, just take Uzama. I'm like, no, if you want to win, they stay on my roster and rot. If you want those points, come get them. I find the energy or the attitude is a lot more reversed in a lot of my leagues. But yeah, I'm with Zach. I would let them watch those points die on my bench before I'd give them away for nothing that means anything. I mean, they're the one. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I feel like it almost feels like the counterpoint that people would give though is like, he's gonna die on your roster. You could have gotten something instead of nothing. It's like, well,
will I be out the playoffs further? Oh no.
Yeah. And you're never gonna start Uzama, and that third's there's probably an 85% chance that they're never gonna start for you either.
So what you do is you start a Twitter account, right? PA something or other, like some kind of greeting, and you definitely put out the energy that I will get joy from watching you lose because you won't give me something. And then they know that they're not that you don't respond to those kind of threats. It's like, I will get something from this. Don't you worry. Watching you lose because you wouldn't give me a second pick. Yeah. I would. Don't worry about me. I'm good.
And Rocky, forgive me for ruining your
energy.
Forgive me for ruining your professional segue earlier into this next trade. TA6. Trading X6. We've got Zach Wilson, quarterback, New York Jets football franchise, and the ACC leading rusher, I haven't mentioned before, Travis Etienne, on one side, and on the other side, quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
By the way, one side of this is John Hogue. I will just say.
Duh.
Say Rodgers. Who you with there? Which? And you guys don't know who got who and what happened, so this will be even more fun.
There's no way he gave up Aaron Rodgers for Zach Wilson. Not a chance.
What side of this what do you want? Is the question.
I want the Rodgers side of it, but that's.
Of course, Larry, the Jets fan in the chat, is saying Wilson's side.
I don't even see Wilson. I see it's an ETN side and a Rodgers side.
Agreed, Zach. This is so easily Rodgers for me. I mean, I've made no secret of my disdain for Zach Wilson. So
he did run the ball pretty consistent. This week.
Yes. and ETN is gets a little bump with the J-Rob injury, but I didn't love him as much as some people coming in. I think he's a solid guy, but I don't think he's a star or anything. So yeah, I'll take Rodgers to try and get me a title.
Yeah, if it playoffs or not, that's a
agreed. Actually, even if I'm not getting a title, I'll take Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Who gave away Aaron Rodgers, by the way?
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Plot twist. I got Aaron Rodgers. All of you.
No, that is a win.
Plot twist. Yeah. This was.
John
I was
Hogue's lack of respect for Aaron Rodgers is one of the least talked about aspects of our little community. Because I've got Aaron Rodgers in the only league I'm in with Hogue, and he won't give you nothing for him. Like he really does not like that guy. This league, as you all may or may not know from my antics on Twitter early this year, this is the league where I had 50 million picks, like 20 of the top 24 picks in the draft, where I had rookies on rookies on rookies, and this team is now heading into the finals. But I needed a quarterback because all of my rookie quarterbacks, as you all can probably tell, there's a lot of sadness going on with Trevor Lawrence and all these other things. So I've got Jalen Hurts, and now I have Aaron Rodgers, and they help carry me in the semifinals past one Russ Fisher in the semis. Just want to throw that out there.
Travis Etienne could be in the Hall of Fame, and that trade is worth it. You won. Like, that's it.
I love you, Russ. Still love you. I love you.
Did you draft all 5 guys, by the way? Quarterback?
Did I draft all 5 guys? Yeah,
because they were all first rounders, and you had the entire first.
The problem,
round, right?
The problem is, J. Mike, you forgot about one.
Oh, Davis Mills.
The 101 of this season, baby.
I did not. You're right. I did not draft Davis Mills. He was an oversight.
How many are still on your roster?
All except Justin Fields. Justin Fields ended up in a deal for me to get CD Lamb earlier in the year. Oh yeah, now Zach Wilson, also a casualty.
So you have Hurts, Rodgers, and all 3 rookies still?
Hurts, Rodgers, Lawrence, Mac, Lance. Yes, all of them. I've still got Andy Dalton too.
Just in case.
Oh man. Oh, that was fun.
All right.
Dynasty Hot Sauce says we're trading for Rodgers past. Where's he playing next year? I don't care. I don't care. Sorry, Dynasty Hot Sauce, like he's a really good quarterback. Right? He will
we
play.
Know where Zach Wilson is playing next year. That's the problem.
Well, no, I mean there are a lot of Canadian teams. I mean, if you go to any of them,
the next quarterback of the Argonauts.
I mean, yeah, I'm assuming there's
show me
more than 2.
Yeah. Isn't there like an Alouettes or something like that?
Does an Argonaut like
Badger,
on the same
Badger, like
same altitude as a jet? What is an Argonaut? Is that anything to do with an astronaut?
No, they fought with Jason.
altitude.
That's
I
right.
don't know what an
Jason.
Argonaut
mythology.
is. Oh, it's okay. So it has nothing to do with flying.
Well, I mean, it might, but
Okay. I don't know.
Hey, Peter, that plot
Buddy.
twist. I did not see the Canadian. All right, we're moving on. I'm sorry. No, I'm not hosting. You're hosting. I'm sorry, Rocky.
Oh, I thought you were hosting.
No, I'm
Jay.
I'm hosting now. All right.
Okay.
So next trade, TA6 still. Right? Yep.
This was,
Don't
by
worry.
the way, Russ's
got it.
desperation move to beat J Mike, which did
Okay.
not work.
Desperation move. Spoiler alert, did not work. The move was Travis Kelce. Come on, guys. Y'all, you haven't you been podding all season and you just still been calling him Kelsey? I think I did earlier plenty of times, but Travis Kelce. Or Devin Singletary, Dawson Knox, Devontae Parker. This is spicy.
Kelsey.
I mean,
win?
I mean, I've been spreading a
Probably
lot
not enough.
a lot of negative energy, so I'm trying to hold back. But I mean,
To offer a little bit more context, Russ unfortunately had Eckler on COVID. Somebody else, like he hit a real rough patch with
Kels.
like coming
Well,
into the week.
Kelsey.
Yeah. Speaking of the aforementioned Kels,
Russ had Eckler everywhere too. Yeah.
yes, and he made this trade I think at like 10 something on Sunday morning, just like needing points and needing players in his lineup.
The desperation trade.
Yeah.
it's rough.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Because remember, Russ has won exactly one Trade Addicts title, and it was in this league last season. So he was looking for the repeat, right? He was a 3 seed looking for the repeat. He was doing all he can here, and it just fell apart.
Forgive me a poker analogy, but there are occasions where folding and playing the next hand is the best strategy. And I know you want to win every hand, and I know when you're dealt pocket aces, you're like, all right, I'm on top in this hand, but then the flop comes and it's not as pretty for you, and sometimes you just got to get out, Russ. You just I mean,
sorry, could I hear the trade again just to make sure I heard it right?
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, right. Travis Kelce, got it.
4.
Yeah.
Devin Singletary,
Right.
Dawson Knox, Devontae
Right.
Parker.
So yeah, here's my problem with it. Like, I think he would have had about the same chance of winning if he just didn't do the trade. Like, I don't know where the points are coming from. That's rough.
No, I mean, Knox
had a
is not
touchdown.
he's not a bad get back,
But
but
it's Singletary.
I don't know.
You need a bigger plus than
I think
Singletary.
Devontae Parker scored 0 though,
You're always-
and I would imagine that
Yes, he
Kelce
did.
would.
That's yeah, he's a fan of that. It's probably he likes doing that. I guess Dawson Knox, can catch touchdowns every now and again.
leads the league, actually, in them for tight ends. So
And that's what we always say: chase the touchdowns.
it is what we say. There's a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
is.
there's
just start the
zero
players that score all the touchdowns.
zero variance with that.
I mean, touchdowns get the most points. What
They
are
are
we
the
doing here?
most points
Yeah.
that you can get. So you just
Listen, when you boil it down, this is a
Chase
really
that.
simple game, guys. This is
Really
really
Chase the touchdown.
Yep.
chase the touchdowns.
Just
okay?
get
Start
it
the
to
players that
212
score the
degrees and realize.
Hold on, I'm taking
it's
notes.
Touchdowns.
Edge fighter, chase the
Chase the
touchdowns. All right, another TA6 trade because we've been lingering here. I'm gonna bypass this one. Partially, I'm gonna say it.
Antonio
but
Brown enough.
Yeah, we
Is that
talked
the
a
one
lot
you're
of AB.
bypassing? Yeah.
We've talked a lot of AB. I got AB, so I was on the side that received Antonio Brown. I gave up Kenneth Gainwell and a 2022 third. My
Smash.
calculus behind this was, what am I okay with in the event that I acquire Antonio Brown and he isn't even on the roster next season, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm okay with giving these things up if all of those things fall all the way apart. And it happened to go through, and I was thankful because that 20 points was clutch. Thank you, AB.
Yeah.
Anyway,
My
Thirties don't
only
matter.
question is, J Mike, are you sure that's calculus that you were doing there?
I mean, it might be pre-calc. I don't know.
Yeah.
One of us
Trigonometry,
uses
maybe?
math every single day of their working life, and one
Just
of us
keep
doesn't.
going down the.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Algebra.
It's like that?
No, little.
Addition?
No. It's above algebra. I think it's geometry.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Right,
think it's
fair
just, logic and reasoning. You just described your thought process. That's all. So
we have philosophy class now? Is that what's going on here?
no, but
Dr.
look,
Cornell West, where you
look,
at, man?
look. If we want to talk about calculus here,
Moving on.
I think it's fair. I think you throwing the third in was a little bit of a slap in the face. Whatever. Kenneth Gainwell is an interesting young running back, and like
Wow.
you say, AB might be gone. And honestly, thirds feel a little bit like I'm giving you something. Really, value this third. Like,
come on, man, I'm giving you a third.
Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Or, so you can't get mad. I'm not touching. You can't get mad. It has value. But yeah, I think it's decent.
Yeah, I don't think Gainwell's ever going to be at a point where you feel comfortable starting him,
No,
barring an injury to somebody else. I think he's always going to be a second or third back on somebody's team.
Yeah.
He's going to have those 2 or 3
Have you seen the
Boston
running
Scott
backs
Weeks?
starting
Come
this
on.
week?
Yeah, and
I mean, Justin Jackson just won some leagues, man. That's running back. And Gainwell.
Yeah,
was
but
a
like this
half
week,
decent
Sanders and Howard might be out. I still
like him
wouldn't
a
feel
lot, though.
confident starting Gainwell.
Fair. All right.
I think you
the
did well,
last-
J Mike.
Me too.
I appreciate
For
that.
what it's
Yeah,
worth.
I think it's good.
Listen, I won, so it was helpful. Trade Addict 6, still. Last one, Pat Fryermuth for
Heard
the
of him.
2022 second.
That
This was
weird.
kind of fun. 2022 second or Pat Fryermuth. Which side you want?
Isn't that what he was drafted in, basically?
Yeah.
What the?
This
I
one
mean-
surprised me. Why would you sell him for a second?
That's yeah. I
Gotta
think
get the
he's
first.
gonna. I think he's gonna be a top 12 dynasty tight end. That
I
seems
think
crazy.
he is
might-
a top 12
he might be
dynasty
higher
tight
than
end
Yeah,
in value.
He
I
might be
chased
like
the top
7 or
already.
8.
So if that's
really
the
good
case,
rookie season.
Eventually, the other 20 people who play our game are going to find out how big he is, and he might even go up.
so if that's the case, if we're saying that the 2022 second's not enough,
Yeah.
what either do we add to or enhance to the 2022 second to get to Pat? Are we doing 2 2022 seconds?
No, I don't think
why
that's
are you
enough.
so thirsty to trade for a tight end? But yeah, he's worth first, I guess. If you
Yeah, I think
just
you need
gotta
at least
have
a
the
late
big guy
first.
on your roster. Yeah, 2
Well,
seconds is not equal to a first. So yeah.
Especially, I know that the tight end premium it gets thrown out a lot, but with the 1.75, a tight end premium actually does matter a little bit. And Fryermuth is the type of player who eventually could end up with some more targets in that offense going forward. Potentially, there will be a quarterback who doesn't throw like I do left-handed, and isn't my age. So eventually, that offense may look a little bit different. So
and he was producing with the corpse of Big Ben this year.
Yeah.
Like he had many nice games this year. If there was no Kyle Pitts, people would be talking about Pat Fryermuth a lot more than
I mean,
they
I'm
were.
surprised to find out we're not. Like, I really thought that was. I thought people had figured that one out. Especially when I saw him in the top 12, I was like,
So-
that's a shame.
he had
So that's
I-
exciting. That's exciting.
four
People figure that out.
games this year as a rookie where he had fewer than 4 targets, just 4. Like
Yeah.
that's legit for a tight end.
A rookie tight end, yeah.
So I have a question about this trade. Was it in anticipation of going to the championship? Because he was like most certainly as valuable as the 2022 second as far as scoring points in this last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, little context here as well. Since I'm in that league, I was not a part of this trade. However, the person that received Fryermuth is the person that I will be playing against in the finals. I see
Flex.
you, Bill Ladden. So That's the thing. He's getting Pat Fryermuth. He gave up a 2022 second, bolster his roster a little bit.
Got you. Yeah. That's a steal, in my opinion.
That's in a bad league. That's the kind of trade that gets vetoed. Someone's
Yeah,
going
that's a steal
to
regardless of whether you're
Veto.
playing next week or not.
Yeah, it don't matter. Don't matter. And I say bad league because only bad leagues have vetoes. That's
Correct. Never veto. Hashtag never veto.
Unless you have to veto.
Oh my gosh, it's on you, Rocky.
Oh, I got to host again?
Yes. yes, you do.
Damn, J Mike, come on, man.
You keep doing the thing where you just kind of fade back. No, this is your show.
Yeah.
You made this mess now. You lie in it.
Mm-hmm.
We got another old guy trade.
I'll
TA8.
host. I will not use your show sheet, but I'll host if you want.
And we skipped
Are
all
we
the way
even going
over
to talk
to
about
TA7.
fantasy football? Or
What's that?
I'm gonna go
AJ
out for a
Green and
trade right
Gronk.
now.
My thoughts on why
2023
yards. Why do we
second.
have yards? What's that about? Little
AJ
strip of
Green and
land you
Gronk,
got to plow. I
2023.
don't get it.
Come on, Peter. I'm trying to spit the trade out. J Mike's making me host again. Let me at least get the trade out of here. AJ Green and Gronk for 2023 second. Is that enough to get back for I don't think it's enough to get back for Gronk personally. It's definitely not when you're dealing with Zach, I can tell you that.
Yeah. You can from personal experience.
Yes, Zach and I in another non-TA league recently had a Gronk trade, and it did not work out for me because I lost. But
I tried to help you.
You did.
I mean, I haven't found many reasons to enjoy 2021, but the fact that everyone's out here having to value AJ Green, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, I mean, this is wonderful. This is great. I'm glad I came here. This is like, you're having to trade your seconds for players that previously were literally just held on my roster, like, not until they retire. And now the
old guys matter,
I think
Peter.
it's great. Yeah.
Would anyone rather have the second?
Yeah.
No, I can't believe it. It took both of those to get a second. Like, I think either of them are worth a second.
I think second.
Maybe not Green, but
Maybe not AJ.
Out of desperation, like I would kind of get it. You know, with Hopkins out, Rondell Moore out, coming into this week, like you might have leaned. I don't know, out of desperation.
I can see the person who is like who's making the push in the playoffs, just saying, hey, you know, I'm getting Gronk. You know, I'm sending you my I'm sending you this 23 second. Hey, there's a lot of value in it. Hey, can you just throw in AJ Green? I just need somebody to start for, you know, a wide receiver spot or something. And like, they were like, cool. Yeah, take AJ Green. It's cool. I'm getting your second. And the person's like, sweet. Thanks. Like, this is exactly what I needed. So,
and you're not even getting that second for 2 years.
Just nostalgia. Like, will you throw in AJ Green? He was my favorite player when I was 8.
Yeah.
So
I've got his jersey.
When I was 8.
Yeah.
I have to take my daughter to the hospital next week. I mean, it's just rough all around, buddy. I just need a little pick me up, you know?
This next one was interesting. This is one of the bigger ones on the sheet. This was actually, I believe it's Russ and Matt Price. Bridgewater, Jameis, DK, Metcalf, and Kyle Pitts for Kyler Murray and Dawson Knox. I'm interested in your guys' thoughts on this one. This one isn't AJ Green first and Gronk for a second, so there's a lot going on here. Who wants to chime in?
Point out, I was like easily on the second side there. I mean, you can get past Evermoose for a second, apparently. So, like, I will take the second in that situation.
So I can confirm that this was Russ and Matt Price, because this got dropped in the DFPN chat, and it was what do you think about this? And at that point, I said I am on the Pitts DK side of things, but immediately trade DK. Like that would be what I would do, because people value DK Metcalf more highly than I do, and so I love getting the Pitts, and you may end up trading Pitts too because that value is crazy. But I that's the side I'm on, and hoping that one of those quarterbacks decides to like resurrect. I know you're giving up Kyler Murray. I know you're giving up a top, really probably the top quarterback, but you're giving up a top 3 quarterback in Murray. But I still I think you can get a lot for Metcalf and potentially Pitts.
J Mike, I see you nodding. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just in a very similar place. I was also in that chat that Zach was talking about, and I didn't even realize that was a trade that was put there until Zach just mentioned it again. It's like, oh yeah, I was there for that conversation. I think I'm curious. I'm really curious. How good of a quarterback can you get if you just dangle DK out there? Like you could get the likes of like Kirk Cousins. You can get the likes of, I mean, probably even a little bit better than that. Like whatever that, like QB 10 to 15 range. Like,
no, that's who I'd be shooting for. I'd be shooting for Tua. I think I'd do it if you rebuilding. If your team's really struggling or struggled this year, I get the idea of having 2 high value assets to go trade to get even more high value assets, because you can probably get more for DK and Pitts than you can get for Kyler Murray by yourself. So I think the trade's fairly even, and if your team really needs to do a lot, like bring in a lot more value, it makes sense to trade for those 2 high value assets. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Knowing how I do things, I'm definitely on the DK Pitts. I can't believe Matt Price traded DK and Pitts. Like,
Yeah,
he's DK wide receiver 1 and like the biggest Pitts stand this side of John Bosch. So,
well, Bob Gilchrist too.
I would say they're just like right 3 in a row.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it did work. He did win. So
nice.
So he is in the finals of TA8, I believe, against Dwight, People's Champ. So
People's Champ.
Good luck to those 2. Okay, so TA9. These actually, I believe these are all me. This was I'll lay the scene here. This was interesting. Last Thursday, I don't know if I didn't hit submit. I don't know if MFL screwed up, but I did not. I put in AJ Brown for Elijah Mitchell, and then I look at my score after the game, and Elijah Mitchell is in my lineup, and AJ Brown is not.
Same. You mean same. The same thing happened. J Mike and I've been talking about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the guy I played, if anyone's familiar, it's Cousin Vito. He's been a guest on the show before. He was gracious enough to let me take Elijah Mitchell out, but he did not let me put AJ Brown in. Because I told him, I was like, I obviously did not intend to start Mitchell. He's like, cool, it's all good. And so I then decided, I originally got a little bummed about it and said, okay, screw it, I'm not even going to try and win. And then a day later, I'm like, screw it. Now I'm going to go all in and try and win, and just started throwing crap all over the place, which is probably not the best way to do it. So if you guys hate all these trades, I totally get it. But so all these were me trying to get points, because also this roster is severely depleted. I previously had CMC and Henry. I also have Eckler. I traded CMC a few weeks ago for Fournette and Mitchell, so that worked out real well. And I was 13-1 going into the semis this week. I also have Brandon Cooks. I also had DeAndre Hopkins. So this was a fun week. Wow. And then
this was the stuff that you discussed when Brandon Marion Lee was on. I remember.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah.
So this is a 13-1 team. And it was going to hell. And I didn't start AJ Brown, and so I just threw a whole bunch of stuff out there to try and get guys that could score me points. The first one's Elijah Mitchell for Ronald Jones, which is funny if you know me, Russell Gage, and Van Jefferson. So thoughts on that one?
I love that trade for you.
Yeah. I don't mind that for you. I am not as big a believer in Elijah Mitchell coming in and taking over that backfield in perpetuity in San Francisco, as a lot of people are. Like, I think Mitchell's a good running back. I just don't trust San Francisco and running backs and continuity. So I don't hate that trade for you.
That was my thought. I think there's a decent chance he's still the lead guy next year, but you never know in San Francisco. So and he could get hurt. He gets hurt all the time. So he's like the new Raheem Mostert. So.
No, I'm exactly
That's
the
why
same.
they drafted him.
Except for like, I literally don't want any of the players you got. I mean, the value's right, and the thought like that's fine. I like Elijah Mitchell, but yes, I'm on board. But I don't want any of the players you got.
It was Ronald Jones' season last week, Peter. Didn't you hear?
I missed that. I guess
we're finally back.
I just no.
Okay,
I don't. I feel like no, I don't want to dirty my roster with the Van Jeffersons of the world. Like that just feels no. But it's fine. I mean, the value's there.
Zach Pascal, but not Van Jefferson,
because he's good. You see how that works. I mean, I just like good football players.
Hold on, chasing touchdowns. I got it. We're there. I'm there.
Zach Pascal's more about yards and targets, but cool.
I think we're living in the upside down, because I understand what you did, Rocky, but I'm
yeah, you see what I mean? Like, I just don't want them, though. I see what you did. I just don't want them.
Because like I love me some Rojo, and I'm here for it, because it's just like it's fun at this point to be about him, because everyone hated him, and then like people have to like play him now just because like out of necessity, right? One of the last men standing at the end of the season. But for like in my mind, I keep thinking I can't escape the value piece of this, and I have a really hard time with like in my mind seeing, all right, Elijah Mitchell's probably worth like a late first. And obviously we put all these things together. They're not a late first, right? And like, there's no machination of anything where I could get the late first here with any of these players. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, what else could I do with Elijah Mitchell to get something that, as Zach mentioned earlier, that I'm comfortable with now and at least feel pretty good about later, that can give me obviously the points for playoffs. So we must be in the upside down, because I'm not taking the Ronald Jones side.
Speaking of
but
being
I don't
in the
know.
upside
Here we
down,
are.
we are now into a podcast, hour and a half into a podcast where I've traded for Ronald Jones, Hoag's traded away Aaron Rodgers, and Matt Price has traded away DK and Pitts. So
and Zach chose the Ronald Jones side. Like this is all sorts of this is all sorts of strange.
Okay, so we'll get to my next overpay, which is which is Derrick Henry, Jameis Winston, Brandon Cooks for James Robinson, Hunter Renfrow, and Gronk. How bad is that trade?
You could have saved us all a lot of trouble if you just traded Elijah Mitchell for Hunter Renfrow and called it good.
Oh, that trade's so bad.
I know.
I didn't even see that one.
I think what hurts is like what really hurts in that is the fact that you got the 1 point from James Robinson, and that burns.
He was getting 25. I'm telling you.
And then Gronk in the premier matchup gets like 4
he got
points.
like 4.5. Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough.
Okay, so that one was basically to laugh at me.
Sadness.
And this last one, I actually didn't even. I meant to revoke, and I didn't get to it in time. So. Because I'd already traded for 6 guys at this point. I didn't think I needed another one, but I forgot to revoke it. So
overhaul.
Kadarius Toney for Christian Kirk, just on its face. What do you think?
Which side are you on?
I got Kirk.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good, I like that.
Why'd you want to revoke?
Otherwise, I'm literally going to have to kick you off your own podcast. Sorry, dude. Well, I'm not sorry because I don't have to. So that's great. I mean, Kirk's
playoffs or not. It's a good trade.
Yeah, it's a good trade.
Okay, at least one of them was a good trade. So that is all the trades. We did it. Only an hour and a half into the podcast. So we do have some listener questions we're going to finish up with. The first one's from Run DFF, our buddy Justin Rogers, sometimes co-host of the Trade Addicts Pod when Russ is out. Are you guys more excited for championships week or for the upcoming non-point scoring season? I feel like a lot of Yes. I
Yes.
feel like there's definitely some people in this pod who would prefer a non-point scoring season.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm only invested in this week for one reason.
The 6 championships. Oh no.
Not one.
Yeah.
Not two. I'm in one final this year, and it's Scott.
Yeah, I'm the
Kyle's over here asking anyone else give a third for Justin Jackson last week, and apparently not, Kyle. Like, you're the only sane person left on the planet. Everyone else is giving up then like a lot more for a lot less. So you did good, man. That's how I thought shit worked, but no, you did good. What was that about all the finals you're in, Gabe? I missed it.
I'm not.
How many was it?
I'm really not. I'm most excited about Scott Fishbowl, which is like sad, but also it's
awesome.
No, it's great.
I
but
made it to the first round
once,
and I didn't let anyone forget it. So
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
I made the finals 2 years ago, and I talked about it forever.
Yeah,
that alone is very exciting. Super excited about it, but just like that is like all that I'm like basically fighting for right now. Aside from like all these stupid leagues that we've been in for all year, all off season, non-point scoring season, and then like here we are, and I'm like, yep, Scott Fishbowl, baby. but at the same time, I'm like all in. Like I don't even care like that I lost all the other leagues, because this like somehow equals it in that regard. So
yeah, I'm just kind of more like a really stupid child or a goldfish or something. And by the championship week, I'm bored. I've been doing this 16 weeks in a row. I'm done. Like I'm kind of bored, whether I'm in the final or not. I'm like, let's do something different.
I
know that's a weird energy, but I'm like, honestly, this is just another week. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm the opposite though. I think people listen know I'm a very win now guy. It's all about getting to this point for me, and I'll do Gabe's gotten the flex. I'll do my flex. I'm in 10 finals this week, so that is out of 30 plus leagues, but still, I feel pretty good about that.
Great percentage. Yeah, no, that's incredible.
Awesome. I'm very much more excited for championship week than I am for the non-point scoring season. So,
but I feel like this is a very appropriate question with the recent news that we literally just got hour plus before the podcast of John Madden passing away. I'm one of those kids that grew up on Madden, right? So franchise mode was my everything, and I put in way too many hours of random trades and building teams and scouting rookies and all those things, right? And now here I am, grown man in Dynasty, overvaluing trades, scouting rookies, just like a complete export of that, right? So it's really interesting for me. Like championship week is cool and I enjoy it. And like you said, it's what we work for, right? But the non-point scoring season is so many. Like I take so much fun out of that time. I take so much fun out of it.
To your Madden,
I also think it's just
to your Madden point. And maybe this was just me, but I'm betting not, because you guys are all Dynasty degenerates. Did anyone else just like skip the season just to do the build?
Yes.
And because that to me, I was in a conversation today on Twitter, and Michael Reedy had said that he likes DFS and redraft over Dynasty because he needs a break. He said, the Dynasty guys are crazy. And I was like, ironically to me, the in-season stuff.
Yeah, the week-to-week stuff is the stuff that grind.
That's the stuff that's miserable. Once it's non-point scoring season, that's all the gravy. That's when we get to dream, man. You can look at the rookie class and you can make your trades and you're not in last
Isn't
place.
the point of all that to win?
Well, I mean, yeah, it is. It absolutely is. But some people enjoy the journey, and some people enjoy the event. I guess. I like the journey. I just saw 16 weeks of football. I wasn't able to take stock of everything that happened as it was happening. Yeah. I mean, for 3 months, I just get to enjoy the stuff that I'm enjoying. I go back and check stuff out, see how stuff connected, see how stuff ended up. I like knowing the end of the story. And as the week goes by, it's just crazy, and there's a million things happening. You're trying to pump lineups and waivers out, and it's just hectic, and I'm more of I like to sit down after with the book and just have fun with the story. That's all I'm saying.
And especially if you're content creating, like if you're doing anything in terms of podcasting or writing articles, or like Peter with the spreadsheets, like this year I didn't do very much. I guested on pods occasionally. I brought J Mike and Peter and John Bosch and Russ on at the beginning of the year. I think I've done nine podcasts this year that were my own podcasts. So this year has been a little better in terms of the grind, but like that's the thing, is if you are into this and doing content creation at all, holy cow, it just gets to be a slog. And everybody's, there are 5,000 people doing the same thing you are at this point. I mean, it's not, we're not at the point where, you search Dynasty podcast and you get 6. Now you get 600, and it's
I will say, as a Dynasty player, I enjoyed this week and in season. As a podcaster, I far enjoy the non-point scoring season.
Yeah,
it's way more.
It's also just my main thing. I stopped caring as much about my channel. Like my strategy and everything I try to is all about win now, and I'm normally on board with that. But like the stuff that kept me around, that isn't just another hobby, it got tiresome to keep up with, is like the community and the conversation and the fun of it. And I get to learn stuff. I can try and do that, like help people out. Like it's kind of unrelated, but it was happening on stream yesterday where in season I'm trying to do so much, and even in the off season, that you can't talk about one thing all the time. And where I'm not famous and everything I say everyone knows about. Like someone will ask me something weeks after they could have used it and be like, I wish we'd do this. I'm like, man, I made that like 3 months ago. I wish I'd known that I could have let you know about it. Not that it would have solved the problem, but there was something he wanted that I'd already made. But in season, it's so much. I got to do this now, got to do this now. You got like 5 minutes to do anything, let alone tell anyone about it. And and it's kind of frustrating. In the off season, you get to concentrate a little bit more on stuff and line up all your links and make sure everyone knows where everything is, and at least try to do that. And in season, I feel like I'm doing such a rush where most of the fun I get is the engagement and like someone saying, hey man, I went the opposite direction, but hearing your thoughts on this really helped me. And I was right, by the way, you're an idiot. Like that's the whole fun of this at this point for me.
And before
I feel frustrated that like all of you guys are doing it too, and like someone doesn't get to read your article, you didn't know you produced it, they didn't know they could hear you say that on the podcast last week. That's something you don't get in the off season. You get a little more time to play with that, I think. Sorry, I kind of went off on that,
before anybody listening is like, well, this is what we play for. We're not saying we don't like championship week. This is still awesome. Like winning championships is awesome, and yes, we want to win. It's like
Christmas.
I just want to look good on paper. That's
pretty good.
That's Russ's thing. It's all about the pretty rosters.
There you go.
He's still, I think, trying to figure out a way that you can award titles based on pretty rosters. So that'll be TA 11.
There's nothing like championship week to make you reevaluate some things when you're trying to get excited about Justin Jackson and Rojo. And like, pretty rosters are pretty cool. It'd be nice to know my team wasn't dead next month. I mean, actually.
Okay, these next two kind of go together, so I'm just going to read both of them, and then we can get into it. It's from first one's at Nick, one of the many Nick Martinez's that follow the show. We're big in the Nick Martinez community. At Nick Martinez BR, what is your favorite fantasy championship week memory, good or bad? So I guess bad wouldn't be favorite, but what's the great from at Jorge Martin 17? What's the greatest performance to lift you a title? What's the biggest heartbreak? So basically, I guess just kind of if you have any memorable title week, title game stories. J Mike, let's see. I have one too, but I was going to start it off. But you can go.
I was just going to say that 2020, and here's the thing: when it comes to me, when I do get to title games, and I was laughing with this about Zach. Like if I get there, I typically don't win third place games, and I typically get blown out if I lose in title games. So like those are like this I don't have any like, oh, close beat. Like, no, I get blown all the way out. But the last season, unfortunate for Zach here, because Zach took it on the
This
chin.
is going to tie right in. It's going to be great.
Is this Diggs and
yeah, man. Like for as much heartbreak as he had to deal with that, like I had so many, like I ended up winning an Allen Robinson jersey because of that, because of Steph Diggs' performance, like which brought me out of the depths. I edged Zach in a league where he clearly had the better team, but like I had Josh Allen and Diggs, and they just went nuclear against. I think it was against New England.
Diggs had like a 40.
Yes, it was against New England.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
So those are
Zach
Steph Diggs
remembers
2020.
that.
Steph Diggs 2020. That was that's who I voted for last year. Steph Diggs 2020.
So to dovetail into J Mike's, I'm gonna just pain because not only did J Mike beat me with the Diggs and Josh Allen, but that last touchdown took me from 3 championships to 0 championships last year.
I remember you saying that.
All 3 games that I was playing, my opponent had either, so there were 2 of them that had both Diggs and Josh Allen, and then the other had just Diggs. And that last, I remember watching this, and it was the end of the 3rd quarter, and Buffalo had the ball, and I was like, maybe they won't run their team out after the quarter was over. New England was getting smoked. Like, this could happen. No. Allen comes out. Slant to Diggs for 15 yards. Boom. Slant to Diggs for 12 yards. Boom. Diggs runs the back of the end zone. Boom. Touchdown. And I'm like, poof. There goes 3 championships on that last play.
And
The worst
I remember
beat
that
ever.
too. My first TA with Russ as the new host was that week when we were recording during the game, and I lost the title during that game. But that is not even my bad beat story, because mine's also not a good memory. It's a bad memory. 2018, our boy FF Trader Joe I was playing. It's the first like sort of Twitter type league that I created and commissioned. It was the first year. And I made it to the final against Joe, and I just so happened to be going to an Eagles game with my son that day, my oldest son. It was a Sunday. I remember it was Eagles versus Houston. Nick Foles was starting quarterback. And this was when we were at it was Prime Gurley 2018. But he was questionable, and he was playing in the 4:00 game. And I had him in my lineup. And I saw the alert at like 3:00 that he was not playing, and I had John Kelly on my roster, and John Kelly was not even the guy who ended up doing anything. It was C.J. Anderson who had the big day with Gurley out.
I refuse to believe that. It was John Kelly.
but Kelly did have like 8 points, and I forgot to sub it in because I was too into the game. I was hanging out with my son, who was like 16 at the time. And so it kind of sucked, but it was like I was down like 60 points after that. I was like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. John Kelly's 8 points weren't going to make a difference. The next night, I have Patrick Mahomes and Chris Carson in the Monday night game. The 2 of them both go off. They both have like 35-point games or something like that, and or 30-point games. And I lost. I don't remember the exact difference. I think it was about 4 points, but I lost, but by less than the amount of points John Kelly had scored. So that's my bad beat. Joe needles me about that game to this day. And we are now in that same league playing this week, and he's going to crush me because he's got a lot better team than I do.
Father of the year, though.
Yes, exactly. I said to him at the time, I was like, you know what, it sucks, but I'll take the game with my son over getting the title. So, but that was definitely one that sticks in my mind.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Michael Pittman, Kyle asks, by the way. It's tough for me because I kind of don't want either, but I guess I'll take the wide receiver.
Yeah, I think I go Pittman there.
You heard Peter say he loves Michael Pittman. I heard it.
Check the VOD.
Abe, you got any title game stories before we get on to the last questions here?
I do. Well, I have a quick shout out. I've kind of two stories, but one's short. I have a quick shout out to my brother in my home league. One of my brothers. I have two brothers in that league, but we went to like 3 or 4 like straight championships in a row, like a few years ago. I don't remember the exact years, but we would always like do something. We just chop the pot, and then we just do something like fun and creative with it. Like at one point, we just like dropped our entire roster, and this is just redraft, and pick up like purely just waiver wire picks. And yeah, so that was fun. Shout out to him, and just like doing things like that for a championship game is just like funny because like none of this matters. So just like have fun. But as far as something that's to follow the negativity, I guess, or I don't know, not the negativity, just the sadness. It brings you up, make the positive out of something. Let me give you all a stat line. All right. Let me give you all a stat line. Let's go here. I pulled it up because I was ready for this one. Show sheets, you plan and stuff. All right. 31 for 44, 480 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 attempts for 0 rushing yards. I guess I'll give you that. Oh, and a fumble. Anybody know who that is?
What year?
Anybody? Oh, come on. How many 6 touchdown games are there?
That's a good
What if I told you if it was in championship week? What if I told you it was around 10 years ago in about 3 days? What if I told you it's the same team that Aaron Rodgers is on? And it's not Aaron Rodgers that did that.
Oh, Matt Flynn?
It was the Matt Flynn game.
Oh, wow.
I remember that. Against Detroit, I think it was.
Yep. That was actually my very first year playing fantasy football and made it to the championship game. I was playing against my buddy. Shout out to my buddy. He's the other half of this tattoo right here. He's the I go, I'm the you go. And he's a mad Packer fan. And so like he sure had Rodgers. Sure, I think he had Jordy Nelson probably too, is my guess. And Aaron Rodgers was out and like, low key, like, yes. And then he scoops up Matt Flynn, of course, and starts him. Oh, that sucked. So that was it. That was it. I mean, that was it. Just the 6 touchdown game from Matt Flynn in the first year playing fantasy football. But
this is really weird. Did anybody else see the Matt Flynn interaction today? I'm gonna
start working out again.
That was great. He said, I'm gonna start working out again. Someone was like, hey, do you remember when Seattle paid you a whole bunch of money? And Flynn immediately responds with, yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Okay. Okay, so next one's from @BuenoFantasy. Who were some wide receivers you'd suggest moving off of early this offseason? I feel like Peter will tell us any rookies who didn't do anything.
Even some that are in Detroit.
Sounds like Antonio Brown is a hot player to talk about.
Yeah.
Y'all moving off of him yet, or?
No, not for the prices we heard. Terrence Marshall, Dimey Brown, Kadarius Toney is apparently a player in the NFL. I don't know. This question, I actually did glance at the show sheet, and I thought I was interested, and I started pulling stuff up. But I didn't get to the end of the thing before I saw the link. But one name that did occur to me, because we were talking about it in Discord the other day, I think Chris Godwin's an interesting sell right now. Top 12 dynasty wide receiver. He's going to finish in the top 12 this year. I think he's outproducing what his likely expectation moving forward is. I think he's had an ACL tear. He's 26, going to be 27 next year. And right now, people aren't thinking about that for Chris Godwin because we think of him as a new up-and-comer still a little bit. That's why he's in the top 12. consensus. And not that he's going to get worse, because age is fiction in that sense, as we know. But, I mean, that value is real high. I think he's an interesting move right now, sad to say.
I'm curious
and
what that...
actually, just to steal a Cash, whose Twitter I forget, he was in the Discord at the same time, and he pointed out, like, he's maxed out at a 22% target share, and if you don't have Tom Brady on the Tampa Bay offense, that ain't good. That's Michael Pittman level volume. You don't want that.
I believe in Chris Godwin, and I think
it's a good player for sure.
I don't know, like they really want to keep people around, like with what they started with Tom, and he's still got that 1 year left. And yeah, I agree with you as far as the sell, just even to like get maybe potentially ahead of the curve, because that's never like the wrong move necessarily. But yeah, I think just what you said, it's interesting.
Right now he's ahead of every rookie that did well this year, apart from Godwin and maybe Waddle. But you could get more plus technically based on ranks, or you could get, some of these younger wide receivers who maybe didn't excel. Everyone says buy T. Higgins, even though I haven't found a single person willing to, trade him away. I mean, there's a lot of potential in that.
Yeah, no, that was your. I was just going to ask, what do you think you would have to put with Godwin, if anything, to get Jalen Waddle? I mean, I don't know, it's a bad week to do that after Waddle just got people into championships and that sort of thing. But what do you think you would have to put, or if maybe you wouldn't have to put anything with him? But
I mean, technically you shouldn't, but you're going to have to. Most people know not to do same position trades, right? Right, we said that. And I'd be okay putting a first with him. It's not so much about what do you have to, it's about what are you comfortable with. Because if you approach someone with Chris Godwin in a second, they might say no, and John Bosch it up, put your best offer out there. So I'd add a first, and if they're at least interested there, you can talk. But I think you might get it.
I think you could do Godwin in a second for Waddle.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah,
okay.
But I think you're almost almost guaranteed with the first.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, as far as like adding a first to it, it'd probably be around like I don't know.
Also, like Zach said, DK Metcalf. I mean, come on.
I don't even know if that would be my target.
No, to trade away.
I'm scared for DK. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, I mean,
what about?
He's a new Mike Evans. By the time we stop valuing him in the top 12, he'll start producing the top 12. I mean, that's what
I just. By the way, I just looked at Mike Evans, and he's wide receiver 25. Like, what? Shay Mike.
What does he have to do?
He's old, man. He's old now. I done told you years ago.
Did he miss his consecutive 1,000 yard because of this hamstring thing and going on IR? Did he miss it?
He will if he doesn't get. Yeah,
I don't think he's going to come back. Oh yeah, he's at 899. Yeah, he won't make it because they put him on IR, didn't they? So he's done for the.
No, he's on
COVID.
COVID.
COVID. Never mind. My bad. Okay, so he could. Oh, he will. Oh, he will.
Okay.
I think we've kind of left the Mike Williams window, but his name.
That was what a weird year for that man.
Yes.
My goodness.
And he's probably out of Los Angeles next year. So who knows what? Go be somebody else's wide receiver 3 or something. I don't know.
What about either Denver wide receiver? I'm surprised that they're so far apart, honestly, and that Judy is so high. But anyone giving up? Are you waiting to hopeful
Aaron
that
Rodgers goes there,
or Russ? Yeah, either one of them. Like, is that inevitable? Is that?
I think there are better targets at their current value. I don't hate either player. I actually think Colin Sutton might fall to a value this offseason. Jerry Judy's probably a value already, place based on what he should do. But, I mean, there are probably better targets with what you have to give up. That's where I'm at.
How is Cortland Sutton wide receiver 36 and Judy is 19? Like what?
I got him wide receiver 25, but I'm looking at some weird ass rankings instead of ADP. But
I'm just looking at ADP for the first time since J Mike and I podcasted in August. So this is all.
That's the way to do it. So striking things.
Alarming.
Like, whoa. Yeah.
Well, since you guys own DLF, don't you look at it more often than that?
No, surprisingly, look at them less.
When you own something,
you're not worried about the little details like that.
You don't sample your own product, you know?
Exactly. There you go.
Am I crazy
That's good.
that I would be looking into trading away Amon-Ra St. Brown after this, like, kind of it's been a great run. I think his value has increased a ton. I think a lot of people, at least on Twitter, I am seeing a lot of people talk about buying into Amon-Ra St. Brown.
He's someone it's about the trade in general. I mean, it's always just about what trade it is, but I'm interested in because it feels really uncertain where we're going to go because he's low drafted, and I happen to know. I feel like people underrate those. You might have heard me. No? Okay. Well, I feel like people underrate that a little bit more than they should. But at the same time, there is risk there. So if it's for a first, I'll probably take the first, I guess.
And I think that's a good one, though, because he's not going to, produce. These last few weeks have been amazing. And it's a byproduct of no Hawk, no Swift, and he's not untalented, but he's not a guy that's going to command that kind of target volume.
And he's seeing targets 6 yards down the field, which is Swift territory. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird kind of convergence of things that went right for St. Brown, and as quickly as Dynasty changes values, I think that this is a time that I am looking to get out on him, unless I'm in a championship and then roll him one more week and have fun. But
right,
I think the way to think of it is he's Michael Gallup, he's Darnell Mooney. It's not like he's gonna. You don't do this just because of that particular situation, but again, there's no extra ceiling to it. So it's about what the trade is, yeah.
Right, but I mean, if you had Darnell Mooney last year and someone said, "Hey, I'm going to give you a first for him,"
exactly,
which you could have gotten. There was a period of time where everyone was talking about Darnell Mooney. I think we're in that same kind of window for St. Brown. That's all.
Yeah, right now you probably not. And if you can't get outright picks, if you send the Hunter Renfrow guy an offer, you'll probably get Hunter Renfrow maybe. Hunter Renfrow plus. Depends if they're out. Can you get Donald Mooney or Michael Gallup for him? Then, plus.
Yeah, and there's at some point this offseason probably where Detroit's going to bring in somebody better than Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's not T. Higgins where he can still be a thing with Jamar Chase. I mean, to this extent with Jamar Chase on the other side, or somebody like, not that there's a Jamar Chase in this class necessarily, but you know what I mean.
I'm a little surprised, like that no one is really like pretty much like 90-95% are just like sell. Is what I've seen, and it's kind of bizarre to me on both sides. Like it seems like no one has ever really liked him, and then after the season, like after him having a fine rookie season, as far as the analytics go, Pete, like it is good. It's a good rookie season,
and his profile was decent. It was decent. Most people had him as a really decent.
Yeah, right on that. Yeah,
and that's kind of why I'm being cagey with sell or buy because
it's weird.
It feels like everyone's saying sell, but I think everyone's, which means that I would probably buy him. But
it's not wrong to sell. I don't think it's wrong to sell either. It makes sense. You're just playing the field right now, and that's you're reading it, and that's what it says. And that makes sense. But like we've got Jared Goff, the dude who is off his first read, who was off of his first read in LA. Excuse me. one Cooper Cup. All right.
Right.
So are we going to have to make a Cup-like apology for Amon-Ra St. Brown here in a couple of years, J. Mike? Is that what we're going to have to do? Huh? Huh?
Yeah, I mean the thing is though, he's been great the last month since Swift's been out. Prior to that, I'm looking at it, he had like 2 games over 10 points the entire year.
That's the thing with
It's a rookie.
Splits.
He is a rookie.
Splits,
He
let's
is a
do
rookie.
it.
No. What I'm gonna say is this level of player, you can accept they're good without seeing that they're dynasty buys. It's
Right.
what always strikes me about these kind of questions. It's like, yeah, I like the player if the value's right, but then you end up in this weird mix. So the answer is, if you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, put a first with him and go get him one of your top tier players. Like, try that first before you do anything else. Don't just sell him to sell him. But the idea would be try and add to get CeeDee Lamb. Try to add to get, AJ Brown. Go try to add something to him to go get something else. Don't just sell because it's a sell window. Because I really, like Gabe said, if everyone's saying sell, if it's 95% sell, then no one's freaking buying. Like, I mean,
Right.
it's not a thing.
Yeah, I like that take. When everyone's saying sell, use him to buy someone else instead of just selling him. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm seeing a lot of people say buy him, hold him. This is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, which, look, if somebody offers me a second for him, I'm going to keep St. Brown because
exactly.
you know what you've got.
I agree.
But if somebody offers me a first for him, I'm going to go take the ceiling because I think I can get another Amon-Ra St. Brown, eventually for less than a first.
Or again, that first is more valuable to more teams, so you can get something else done. I mean,
and I know that a lot of people are offering it first for Amon-Ra. So
exactly.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of like what Pete said. That you use him to upgrade somewhere else. And that's
we've
how
been
you
doing that weekly show, and I kind of get, because I suck at trades. I outright I've been told by all of you and everyone in every league, like, these are bad offers, Pete. Just stop it. Don't stop it. Like, okay. But some things just strike me as when we look at them to even buy and sell is wrong. It's like, it's not the point. Like, the best way, as far as I can figure, is the answer to 90% of the questions I've seen doing that weekly show with Russ. And since Russ is on there, it's just pure trade questions all the time. I guess that's why. It's just, I mean, make a list. Who are the guys you really want on? Not like good targets or good values. We can do that this offseason. They'll be around. But like, who are your top 12 guys, and find out where they are in your league, what situation they're in, who's maybe more available than others. And the idea is to go trade for those guys instead of, like, it's not trade. There isn't a timing quotient for trades. It's time to sell Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's like, for what? For what? Is the question. So yeah.
And I mean, the whole yards per target thing. I mean, Waddle was doing that too. And I mean, like, if you want to do the splits with like Waddle and Miami running back, is like, okay, well, there wasn't and there isn't. So like, that's beneficial for Waddle, and you got to read situations too, I guess. But like, I don't know. And I'm not trying to say they're the same wide receiver at all. But I'm just saying that,
I'm pretty sure I heard you say
disrespect
that.
is high. I'm pretty sure I said that. Cut the clip.
Pretty sure I said it. No, I mean, it's really weird how it's kind of a fight. Even in this, Amon-Ra, the Sun God has done great. Sell him. But like, I'm just trying to look it up. But hasn't he basically had a better rookie season than Rashad Bateman, who we've got the opposite problem with, who I want to love, but everyone's been loving so hard. It's like, I just calm down, people. He hasn't actually done that much yet. I mean, there's risk here, and I wish you'd all hate him so I could like him. You know what I mean?
He's probably one of the top 4 or 5 like rookie wide receivers this year as far as production across the board.
Amon-Ra?
Yeah.
It's just.
I mean, literally, literally,
he's
had a better
season. Wide
season.
receiver 31.
He's had the 4th best season of the rookies this year, and even Rondell Moore's below him. And you don't have to. Yep. No one's panicking. Rashad Bateman and Rondell Moore have had decent rookie seasons, but they're not been great.
Yeah, Smith, Waddle, and Chase, the only guys that have more fantasy points than he does of the rookies. Okay, so we'll finish on a positive note with the questions here. The last one we got was from Drew Prowl, one of our DAP Network brothers from the Fantasy Timeline at dr_pra. What is everyone most hopeful / optimistic about for 2022? Fantasy football, personal or otherwise, doesn't matter. Jay, Mike, haven't heard from you in a little bit.
I think I'm excited for 2022 for a lot of reasons. One of which is just a renewed focus for me specifically. Over the last, this is more personal than anything, just a renewed focus of this statement that I heard over a month ago. Just like focus on the mission, right? Focus on the mission. Stop worrying about who put you in the role. Stop worrying about if you're good enough for it. Stop worrying about insecurities, what you're not, all these other things. Focus on the mission. Somebody somewhere saw fit for you to be right where you are right now. Whether that be your job, whether that be your role in your family, or whatever the case is. So like steward that well. So I've been doing a lot of retooling in that sense, and trying to be able to lean in and really embrace a lot of that over the last month. From when I heard that from, I got to credit Dr. Nadia West, 3-star Army general. She came and spoke at my job, and she was phenomenal. And just talking about, hey, how do you get over insecurities? How do you get over self-doubt and all these other things? Focus on the mission. Stop focusing on the other stuff. Like somebody's counting on you to do you. Somebody's counting on you to be you. People need you, right? The world is full of all sorts of other folks. So be you. So I'm trying to make sure I lean more into that in 2022.
I think that's a good idea for you, J Mike, and everyone else. I'm just going to full on reject that and keep leaning into my imposter syndrome, if that's okay with everyone else.
Listen, man,
that seems to be my role.
Right there with you, bro.
Family, work, this. I mean, honestly, I just full on don't really get why I get to have breath and skin and everything. Seems like it'd be better used somewhere else. But I'm just going to lean into that a little bit more. But yeah, you definitely should. You should be here.
Zach, any thoughts on that question?
I mean, anytime somebody talks about optimism with me, it's my kids. And it's every day I come home and look at how resilient they've been in the face of the last couple of years, and watch them kind of reassimilate into the world and into school, and just succeed and flourish, in spite of having me as a parent, like you, and it's just like,
right?
Okay,
that sounded like on my level. Sorry, carry on.
No,
it's just like me around. Somehow things are still getting done. I can chill with that energy.
Yeah, and they are just like amazing, and it's easy for me to just watch them and kind of take some of that and use it for me. Just be like, you know what? These two boys are incredible. They're succeeding, in school, in life, and maybe I need to step back and just take a little bit of that to heart for me. And it's not so bad. I can be resilient too. And it's a nice pickup every day I get home from work, where, I mean, you guys all go to work. It's not always the most fun. Gabe, I know you're having a great time there. Teaching is easy in this. Wait, I'm sorry.
Best year of my life.
Yeah, and
I hate everything about my life.
Come home and it's just
apart
like
that family thing. Yeah.
The boys, a teacher, Gabe. I feel your pain. Gabe, any answer for that question?
Hopeful and optimistic about 2022. Well, as far as twos go, I mean, I hope that personally, I hope the Twins, all twin, hope, first and foremost, as far as the kids go, I know Zach, you just referred to that. I hope everything goes smoothly. It's just, it's amazing to watch a twin pregnancy. Like you already,
Yeah.
like
Wow.
I already had the utmost respect for women going into a pregnancy, and then that went over the top watching a one pregnancy, and now it like to do it twice at once is like insane. So yeah, I just hope the best for that first and foremost, or first and twice and
Now
Nope.
we're getting exponential.
yeah.
It's an 8 most.
Yeah, I know, right? 2, 4, 8, 6. All right, but I don't know, man. This year was tough. It's tough. I'm a little worried about football in general. I don't know if it's. I think something's gonna have to like change to either we change or they change, and not, by we I mean like we're just watching. But, like we don't matter. We're just
Well, the
like,
audience is everything.
it's easier.
If we
I know. It's
but yeah, I know what you mean. Sorry. Okay.
it's easier for us to change. Like we can just, develop different strategies around IR, and we can learn about players more, whatever. Like, sure. Our what I don't even Craig Reynolds, is that his name? I don't even Craig was his name. I don't even know the Lions running back. Was that his name?
Craig Reynolds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Craig
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, that's where we're at. Like, so shout out to Craig Reynolds, getting a shot. I think that's great, honestly, but like it's hard to run that deep. And for, the aforementioned, a 4-man mentioned, able to come back off the Achilles, Deontay Foreman. Y'all didn't even perk eyes at that one. So it's hard to.
We caught that.
I know it's hard. It's just hard. I'm not saying I hope that it gets easier. I just hope that the sport doesn't die, because I just think that, and maybe there's like a COVID parallel but it seems like there are a lot of just injuries in general. And I think that the sport could be harder to play in general in the future. So I just hope everyone's healthy. That's all. I just hope everyone's healthy. Thanks NFL players for doing what you do, because just stupid that you have to do all this stupid shit and we just get to watch and hope that whatever. All right. Good job, NFL players. Love you, NFL players. Not the NFL, just the NFL players.
After all those great serious answers about healthy and kids and the mission, I'm just going to cop out and say he said hopeful. So I'm hopeful. I'm going to flex on my 10 final teams again. I'm hopeful they all win in the first weekend of 2022.
It will be, I guess, won't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
it'll be I believe January 2nd, all the games, or 3rd, all the games are being played. So
okay,
that's 2022. So it counts. So I guess, as Russ would say, that's the end of our show sheet. So that's the end of our show. I don't know. This is Trade Addicts Open Bar. We do outros. Do we do a draft? I don't have a topic, so I don't know. I mean, that's your guys' specialty.
J Mike, this is why you never make a show sheet. We never went over 2 hours.
Never.
Me and Zach personally have never gone over an hour.
No, we're very succinct.
Very succinct, short word.
I feel like we just did our draft.
I think that was a solid
trying to
finish.
delegate. I'm not letting you off the hook, Rocky. This is your choice. This is your show.
Okay.
Stop trying to make us choose.
Switch it back. Put you over.
I'm just doing outros. I am horrible. I would never come up with a good draft topic. We talk too much fantasy football anyway. So because the draft topic is never fantasy football. So I'll go clockwise, starting by me. Zach, anything you want to say on the way out here?
I mean, not really. You can't find me anywhere except for over doing Peter Howard's show tomorrow night, filling in for Russ and hanging out with Peter. But occasionally DFPN at work, Dynasty Dummies. I do believe that there will be rookie talk coming in the future, and I'm excited about that. I see J Mike nodding his head. Makes me even more excited.
Yes. Okay, Peter, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I would like to congratulate you on the solid call of not asking the optimism question from the only man never to have experienced optimism, which is me. And yeah, I think that was solid. No, thanks for asking me on. Always fun. I don't get invited on the open bar anymore, so it was nice to shoehorn me in. Like they've been successfully avoiding me now for a long time, and I like that we ruined that. I do. They looked very disappointed when I turned up, and I think that's for good reasons. And no, it's just great to talk to you all again. And thanks anyone that listened to my blather, because I seem to talk over everyone all the time. But I really appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great 2022.
Okay, and I'm going to throw it to J-Mike. And J-Mike, I'm going to be very disappointed if I don't get a few FF something when you finish and throw it to Gabe.
Yeah. Where's your Etch-a-Sketch?
FF Calisthenics.
FF Etch-a-Sketch. Where is it?
Again, in this guesting, I'm not hosting. I'm not the host.
Wow.
It's Trade Addicts Open
You're
Bar.
going to say that to me with that
Unbelievable.
voice. You're going to say
Listen,
I'm not the host in that voice.
Exactly.
I'm
not the host. I will say this.
Dude, you hosted like half of the show, J-Mike.
To anybody who listened to this entire podcast, thank you.
How?
You're a crazy person.
With me on, how did you possibly?
We
Sorry, carry on.
appreciate you.
Carry on, host.
But no, listen, dusting off the microphone and being able to be invited on the Trade Addicts is always a good time. Rocky, thank you very much for having me. Thank you for sneak inviting some of our closest brethren on with us here with Zach and Peter. That was a real treat and just awesome. And obviously Gabe is my brother, and like I said, we talk every day, every other day. So yeah, this was just outstanding. So thank you for having us. I don't know if it's the Dummies Hootenanny. I don't know what we'll be calling it this go around. The Texas two-step, the triple threat. I don't know what it'll be or who all will be there, but I'm pretty confident Zach and myself will be there. I'm pretty sure we'll have at least one other person in the open bar running back here sometime in the near future. I would say when life calms down, but that's really not happening for either of us at this point. So we just survive in advance, similar to March Madness. So grateful. Thank you all for checking us out. Appreciate it. This was far more than just a good time for me. This was good for the soul.
Okay, I guess I'm going to be disappointed then.
All right, FF Calisthenics, hashtag FF Twinning. Hashtag FF, this was supposed to be my office. Hashtag these kids is taking over. Hashtag FF optimism. Hashtag 2022 is whack. I think that's really all I got at this point. But yeah,
okay, that'll work.
Hashtag FF flex on them.
Refill.
Yeah, hashtag FF flex on them is the one.
FF SFB finalist. So, Gabe, anything you want to say?
I'd expect a congratulations from my co-host, at least once. But...
Whatever. He's a hater. Known hater.
I think J-Mike is FF spit take now.
See if J-Mike checked on that blanket?
Hashtag FF run away.
On that blanket.
Spitting on my Christmas tree and everything.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's true. We didn't get to go through the full range of backgrounds because mine is literally the same every time from our pod, pretty much. And aside from fixing smoke alarms or something, but yours often changed. Well, not often, but changed enough to where oh, what's J-Mike got now? It's kind of the I haven't watched Around the Horn for a while. Woody Page, is that his name? Woody Page.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He'd always have the different blackboard in the back. J-Mike always had something different.
Festive. I missed the lawnmower.
Missed the lawnmower.
I do miss the lawnmower. I do miss the lawnmower.
I didn't know that you pocketed so many pictures. Well, not so many, but just pictures in general, Peter. I didn't think that would be even your vibe, at all. But yeah. All right.
Private eyes. They're watching you.
Some of my favorite, I will say, some of my favorite tweets in general, and I'm specifically referencing two people here, but some of my favorite tweets are when they are like, it's like a subtweet, but it's like a positive subtweet, you know, and it's like you do something for that person, and yeah, it's just a positive subtweet, I guess, is how I would, sum it up. I think those are great. Subtweets are kind of whatever.
I thought you were going to say your favorite tweets were remember player X or.
Yeah, well,
Who's
hey,
on your
hold
Mount
on. Oh God, I saw those. See, this is what happens every time I scroll through that shit. I just close the app again. Like, I just need to come through. Like, basically, like Cooter Doodle. Like, she keeps me like scrolling. I was about to say I can't remember it now, but the remember tweets, Rocky, she like totally nailed the remember tweets, and I can't remember what it is now, ironically, but so maybe next time. But she
I'm fighting
shout
with
out.
Doodle right now, if that matters.
You're fighting with her?
Mm-hmm.
Over
She
celery.
said celery was good, and so we're fighting now.
Wait, hold up. You're down on celery?
I'm fully down, all the way down, basement down.
Why?
Because, I mean, we're fighting now, just so you know, just because you said that. There's nothing good about celery. It's literally trying to kill you. Big celery has gotten in everyone's head and think they have to add it to salad, which is like one of my favorite things in the world. And so I'll be eating a nice salad, and then I'll taste celery, and I'll have to go throw it away. I'll have to go throw up and throw it away because celery sucks. It has a taste, and it's bad taste. It literally burns calories while you eat it, which big celery will tell you is a selling point, like diet. But really, when you think about it, all that means is you think you're taking your sustenance, but actually it's killing you. Because if you just ate celery, you would die. Because you're putting out more than you eat, and so you'll be like, why am I dying? I'm eating all this celery.
Why am I dying?
And you just keep eating the celery, and it would kill you. That's what the food thinks of you. I think we should reciprocate.
This episode needs to be named Big Celery. Done.
I get it. I mean, the cell. Okay, I see.
Yeah. I mean, they operate in cells. What is good that operates in
all
cells?
they do is sell.
Terrorists?
Yeah. I mean,
you're a fan of terrorists too? Celery and terrorists. They go together hand in hand. I want you off this train, Gabe. You need off. We're fighting it.
I'm listening to your argument, but I think I need to write a rap about it. So
I think that's probably a good plan.
That's all I'm good for these days, which is my outro.
At least you're good for something. To be fair, I mean, personally, you have to find that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say that.
I want to thank all you guys for coming on. This was as much fun as I hoped it would be. It was great to have Gabe and J Mike back together. Really enjoyed talking with Zach and Pete. And I can't think of any better way to end this than by saying, Gabe, J Mike, we are bros.
Yeah.